Okay, hey, we're back in action. Hello, all newcomers, and welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP, and today we are going to be having the first ever gathering of Micronations. That's right. So, as you all may know, the Gathering of Nations is one of the largest gatherings of tribes in the world. It's held in North America. It, I believe, contains over like 500 tribes or something. It's over 550 tribes gather at this event, and so I wanted to do something similar for micronations. So if you have a micronation, if you can be here today, please invite all those who you know who have micronations. I want to talk about the big topics in micronationalism today. I want to get people's opinions. We're going to have people talk if they want to. We're going to have people to express their ideas. I want to come to a consensus on certain things with micronations. So today is the big day for everybody to share their opinion and to get out there what exactly the micronational community wants. We're about to be going into 2022. What does that mean for the world of micronations? Micronationalism is growing larger and larger every single year. More and more people are getting involved. More and more micronations are becoming more active with each other, not only economically, but also culturally. You know, things are getting more and more connected. And now, what are we going to do moving forward? There's still a ton of divisiveness in the community. There's still a bunch of toxicity in certain areas of our community. So who's doing what? What's going to happen next? That's what we're talking about today. It's good to see everybody. First off, I want to say hello to Mackie Zoop. It's good to see you. Michael Murphy, good to see you. Said no sound at first. Yeah, I just had to fix my mic. I'm sorry about that. The Mines said hello. Hello, The Mines. It's good to see you. And the Kingdom of Suyoku says hi. Hello, Kingdom of Suyoku. It's good to see you. Yeah, let's get into it. Thank you all for being here. So, first, I want to go ahead and post our notification on Twitter and on our Instagram. So if you guys will give me just a minute to do that, I will. But while I do that, I want to show you guys the actual Gathering of Nations information. I kind of want to go over the background of it and get everything started. Very cool. Okay. And our online screen. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go to Gathering of Nations information. And I'm going to pull up the window capture for you guys. Also, guys, let's be chill in the comments. I saw a strange comment there for a second that I did not like seeing. No name calling, please. No inappropriate comments. The Second Sardinian Empire says, "Good morning, Your Imperial Majesty AP, and how are you? I am wonderful. Thank you so much for representing yourself, Sardinian Empire. We appreciate you being here. You were in our Micronational Risk Tournament as well, so it's cool to see everybody participating and hanging out and being able to truly show the state of micronationalism today." So, the Gathering of Nations, this is what this is represented in. Now, the Gathering of Nations is the largest powwow in the United States and North America. Excuse me, not in the world. It is held annually on the fourth weekend in April on the powwow grounds in Expo, New Mexico, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Over 565 tribes from around the United States and 220 from Canada travel to Albuquerque to participate. And that's not people, that's tribes, individual tribes. Over 780, almost 800 tribes are gathering here. And so I wanted to show a little bit about this, talk a little bit about this, and say micronations aren't too different from tribes. There is a lot that connects them as far as, they are these small groups that have a really unique, rich culture, and they are trying to connect to each other. They are trying to bridge their differences and bridge the gaps between them to achieve these larger goals, usually against macronational powers. Now, of course, there's a big difference historically between, Native Americans and oppressed people in that situation and micronations, these new little small countries. But certainly there are some things that we can take from these Native American tribes and that we can learn a lot from gatherings like this, beautiful congregations of humanity. that are coming together to represent themselves and to just be alive. I think that's really beautiful, and I think it's cool to see. So I'm glad everybody's here today. The Mind says, that's cool. Thank you so much. And again, good morning. I hope everybody is doing well. I saw the Minds jumped in. Yeah, fantastic. So again, let me post this real quick for everybody. I'm going to throw it on Twitter. You guys can watch me. Go ahead and post this on Twitter. But I wanted to grab our stream key, not our stream key, our URL for the stream. There we go. Okay. So, there's that. Gonna upload the image. We actually have a cool thumbnail today. I was able to do it right before the stream. It took me a little while to get started, but I am glad that I was able to. Some of the things that I want to talk about today are pretty vital to the future of micronationalism, I feel, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to do a gathering. I want to talk about like base standards for the micronational community. Everybody says that they have, their ideas for what it is that nations should be doing, shouldn't be doing, how they should work, what new micronations should first learn coming in, and how all of that works. Of course, on Instagram, on Twitter, other social media around the globe, there's always these little pocket niche communities of micronations that are helping each other, but they all have different ideas on what should be a consensus. So, again, we've kind of done a small background on the Gathering of Nations. We've done a little bit of a roll call here, just seeing who's here. Actually, what I'd like to do to go even further with that, tell me which nations are here. We know we know Sardinian Empire is here. We know that the Kingdom of Suyoku is here. It's good to see them. But what other nations are here? A lot of people have their name just representing there. So it would be cool to see who all is here and what all they are doing. And again, I want to shout this out on our Instagram as well and try and get that out there. But the biggest thing that I want to focus on as far as the micronational community that has gotten to me is the state of micronationalism. There's no good consensus for how many micronations there are out there specifically. There are kind of hints there, people have said thousands. Yesterday we were talking and somebody put out the number like 10,000. There's no good way to come up with a consensus for that. So I think, of course, our micronational map has done a little bit, but it covers a small blip on the map of all micronations. As well, micronations rise and fall really quickly, so it's hard to determine how many active micronations there are. Ideally, that would be something that we would try and cover and fix today. We would say, we'll just host a poll or something, and all the micronations will participate. But that's not exactly how it works. So that's one large problem that I think the micronational community needs to be able to mitigate at least a little bit to find some consensus, some way of bringing all of these groups together, all of these pockets of micronations together to say what it is that their community represents, how large their communities are, what they're doing, to give a more accurate sense, a census, if you will, of micronations. So, I think there should be a census, I'm going to go down here, census for micronations. And let me know what you guys think about that. Essentially kind of a questionnaire that would just say, hey, are you active? What are you doing? How are you doing it? And if we could put that out every year, I think it would be really cool. Because if you saw that one year somebody, responded to it, and then the next year they didn't, you could assume, that group has no longer existed. They're no longer established. If they knew about it the first year, but they didn't know about it the second year, it probably means that they're not actively keeping up with things. So that may be a good indicator for how active micronations are. If we can get them to identify with this census, if we can get people to come together and agree to show themselves and to represent themselves in an official capacity, we may be able to get more accurate numbers on truly how large the community is. And that doesn't account for citizens of micronations. That doesn't account for micronations that don't know that they're micronations. Like, I'm sure there are people who have started countries who don't know about the micronational community. So there's still lots of holes in this idea. But it would be interesting to see. First off, the mines. Ooh, we have a whole bunch of stuff. Homegrown Gamer Kid. It's good to see you, Onyx. Onyx said hi, former leader of the Onyx Union. It's good to see you, and I'm glad you are here. Actually, Onyx is applying for citizenship in the Empire of Aeternia, and we are proud to have the former leader of the Onyx Union becoming a citizen of the Empire. So it's really cool to see. I appreciate you, Onyx. And as well, I am excited to see where the Onyx Empire goes under new leadership. I know your vice president's now stepping in, so I can't wait to see how that goes. And we appreciate them for being here. So, as well, we have the Second Sardinian Empire wishing everybody a good morning. We have the Mine saying, do you guys have land? Wait, hold up. They were saying, the Mine says, I think he has I think Onyx has a nation. He said he did, but he stepped down. Very cool. Manu is representing Tepronia. Hello, Manu. How are you? It's good to see you. And we have Tepronia here saying a bit late. That is perfectly fine. We are talking about the concept of a census for micronations. So if you would like to weigh in, please let us know, because it's something that I have never seen a good solution for. People talk about it. People, bring up the concept of what exactly we should do about trying to figure out how many micronations there are, or, trying to map micronations like we've done. It's a popular thing in the community to talk about because there's no way to determine the size or success of the community without knowing who's in it. So I think that's important. The other things I just wanted to go over real quick, we have kind of an agenda here for today for the Gathering of Micronations. So we kind of did a bit of background on the Gathering of Nations, talking about the Gathering of Nations that is a large tribal gathering in the United States and Canada, and talking about how those nations participate and how micronationalism can learn from them. As well, we had our small roll call. As we go through, I'm going to continue to roll call nations that are here and representing themselves. I would love to actually write that down eventually so that we can have that. So if you guys can drop the names of your nations in the comments, I'll probably go back later and make a list of them and maybe throw that up on the website. We have the state of micronationalism, again, kind of talking about that. I want to talk about rules for micronations, like what general things all micronations should kind of follow and kind of obey. What are some general things that we can all come to an agreement on about micronations that we could put out there? And if we could get a whole bunch of nations to sign it, it doesn't mean that everybody has to follow those rules, but it does mean that we can come to a sort of sense of agreement as a community, so that if we see some toxic behavior going on or we see some big weird problem happening in the community, we can all stand together and say, well, that doesn't represent us. If you're going to come to work with our nations, if you're going to try and participate in our community, you need to come to us respectfully and with our rules in mind. So just sort of, rules of the ethics, basically. We're also going to talk a little bit about the economics of micronations. That's our favorite on this channel. And I want to do a couple things at the end for you guys. I really want to hear from you guys, as this is the Gathering of Micronations. So I want to do a micronation review. This isn't going to be like a criticism, like, oh, we're doing this. If you guys have particular things about your nation that you want talked about and given advice on, please prep those, let us know, and ask questions, because once we get to this section, we're going to go through and talk about all of those things. So if you say, for the micronation review part, talk about insert my nations, this and this, and then we'll discuss it. The more information you can provide, or if you can DM me on Discord some information, we will go through and we will discuss that. And as well, again, situational discussions kind of goes into the micronation review, but this would be more specific. So for the micronation review, I'm thinking things like, looking at your flag. If you're like, hey, I want to change my flag, but I don't know exactly what to do with it, you could drop that in. If you're like, hey, I don't really know about some aspect of my nation, my currency, my economy, citizenship, all of that would be in the micronation review. What you're actively doing and how to fix that or improve that would be micronation review, as well as just kind of a little bit of advertising. Situational discussions would be something that is, hey, we had this issue that we haven't been able to solve, potentially with another nation, potentially as a community, hey, we're getting spammed all the time, and there's this particular nation that's problematic, and how do we fix this? And that would be sort of the situational discussion, where we are contemplating how to solve larger problems in the micronational community. Anything that you have noticed is a big thing that, maybe you want to talk about for the state of micronationalism, or for, something that shows why a rule for micronations needs to be created. That would go into situational discussions, talking about specific large-scale events happening in your neck of the micronational community. Also, we have 10 viewers, guys. Let's go. Can you guys please give me a like on that video? It means a lot. It helps us to grow, and it helps more people to join the micronational gathering. So, I appreciate it. Hey, Robert Washington Jr. has been commenting a lot. It's good to see you, Robert Washington. He says, hey, Mr. AP. Hello, Robert Washington. Everybody says hello to him. Robert says, I'm reading Law for Dummies. That's very cool. Maybe you can help us with rules for micronations. I know there's like the UN Charter and stuff like that gives sort of rules for its members. I know there are, rules of etiquette and stuff, and, Robert's rules of order for like meetings and things like that. But I'm really curious as to what you think, learning about law, trying to get more educated yourself, what some rules for micronations could be, some basic things that micronations should follow, or that we should maybe agree upon to try and figure that out. Law is a lot about philosophy, and it's a lot about ethics, and that being the case, we need to come to some common ground on what the philosophy of micronationalism is and what the ethics of micronationalism is. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's going to agree, but it helps us to get a general feel of the community. Robert Washington said he's doing good. Homegrown Gamer Kid Onyx said, everybody here is cool. I appreciate that, Onyx, and I think you're pretty cool. So thank you very much for that. Robert Washington said, census for micronations, The Mind said, Gamer Kid, I agree. I agree as well. Everybody here is very cool. I appreciate the support. And not only that, I think it's cool to have the community really come in and like show their support for one another. It's nice when people come and they hang out in the stream and support Aeternia. It's a completely different thing when you see the community coming together to act as a unit, as a whole group. It makes me proud for the future of micronationalism, because I know that as we continue forward, that same spirit of supporting smaller nations, of giving back to this larger community, and of providing something of value is necessary for the micronationalism to grow as it needs to. And I think we're going to end up with a lot of successful micronations that are pillars of this community, helping each other, helping smaller nations to grow, and providing a large economic base for everyone, including Aeternia. So thank you. The Mind says, yeah. Max Portillo jumped in and said, United Empire here. Hey, perfect. The United Empire reppin'. I am actually going to throw that in. Okay, so we have, so far, Aeternia, Sardinia. Also, please forgive me if I'm butchering these names. United Empire. Is that what it is? United Empire? I believe it is. Let's see. United Empire. Yep, for Max Portillo. It's good to see you, Max. I hope you're doing well today. United Empire. Who's next? I'm going to jump you guys back over to the online screen so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm writing down the roll call. Very cool. Also, we have 11 viewers. Thank you, guys. Thank you for representing your micronations here. And again, please give the video a like. It helps us a lot. Very cool. Okay. So, Lazix says hello. Lazix, it's good to see you. What nation are you representing today? Bringing to the gathering of micronations. I'm going to get it backwards every time. The Mind says, I sort of agree, but at the same time, getting land is pretty hard. Hold up. Y'all are talking about land. Very nice. Also, very active chat. I appreciate it, you guys. Keeping that chat alive for everybody. Ooh, so talking about if they don't live on your land, they aren't citizens. I don't know about that, Robert Washington. The Empire of Aeternia has citizens who are like actively contributing economic members of our society, and so it's hard to say that they're not citizens. You know what I mean? People who are like, I bought the currency, I like am, I'm paying taxes to the empire. I actively like have a job and a role in the empire. It's hard to say that they're not a part of it. Um, I think that the way around that and the way that the Empire of Eternia got around the concept of are citizens a part of, are citizens that don't live on your land. If you have one single territory, citizens that aren't on your land, are they actually citizens? And I would say it, it depends on how you're defining your land. The Empire of Eternia defines its land as the base land that I personally own and have access control to legally. But then in addition to that, we extend our lands to the private property of the individuals who consider themselves citizens. So when we grant somebody citizenship, once they have met all of our citizenship requirements, they can then say, hey, my land is now considered a part of the empire. That's not to such an official capacity that we're gonna like start building on their land and start doing stuff and start taking over their private property, but it does allow us to be able to say, well, they are on our land. The land under their feet is a part of the Empire of Eternia because the Empire of Eternia is something that's in their heart and something that they carry with them and help to expand from their own name, from their own contributions. So in that way, I would disagree, Robert Washington, but I think it is hard to determine that nation by nation. But I think it's the effect, essentially, that your citizens have as to how much or how little citizens they actually are. It's not so much about what citizenship is defined as, but the strength of that citizenship, the value of every individual citizenship. But it's good to have everybody here again. That was a small tangent, but I want to get back on talking about the state of micronationalism. I feel like that was kind of relevant, though, because there are, again, these big differences between what people think base aspects of the micronational community are, and it's something that we need to kind of start to come to an agreement on. Lazik says, hello. Robert Washington said, micronations should try to have some non-aggression principle. Ooh, I like that, Robert Washington. That is very true. Let me know if everybody agrees with that. Give your nation's vote, your nation's agreement or disagreement in the chat, and we will actually put a number next to this. So that way, whenever we go back, I want to get everybody to sign this. If you're a part of our Discord, which I'm sure a lot of you are traveling from our Discord, I'm going to start posting these rules in our Discord. And I want to create a document for as many nations as possible to sign. So if you agree with the rules that we create in this summit, please let me know in this gathering, because what I want to do is have all these nations sign it, and then every time we come back to another gathering of micronations, I want to have that updated, and I want to be able to have the same nations sign it and it grow larger and it get more support as well. Once we finish this and we start passing that around, if you know any other nations who would like to support that and who would like to be a part of that, please do get them to join in. And if you're not on our Discord, get on our Discord. That'd be a great way to get active and help to sign this thing. So, non-aggression principle. I like that. Non-aggression principle. Did I spell non-aggression wrong? Gross. I sure did. Cool. Non-aggression principle. We're going to tab over one more because it's inside. Then I'm going to delete that thing. Yeah. So a non-aggression principle, I think that's very important. Specifically because a lot of the time aggression between micronations is essentially just causing problems for those nations such that they can't, retaliate back, or that they can't, it slows them down. It's these annoyances. It's things like spamming. It's things like, trolling them. It's things like causing a problem for them in the digital space, which is silly. It's silly to try and slow other nations down when you're not actually advancing your own. Okay, so Robert Washington, that was a great one, and I completely agree. Master Deontay says hello. Master Dionite says hello. Hello, Master Dionite. It's good to see you. What nation are you representing today, bringing to the gathering of Micronations? Or are you just here as a spectator? We are, as nations, creating these rules, this base standard of values and ethics that we have. And I think it's necessary as the micronational community grows internationally and tries to define itself. The Duke says, guys, the Grand Duchy of South Florida is back. Hey, fantastic. Thank you for representing Grand Duchy of South Florida. Hey, we're about to add that. Grand Duchy of South Florida is here. Hey, perfect. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, considering Aeternia, nations gathered here. This is going to be a historic event. This is going to be the first of many. So if you want to rep your nation, have them in the history books as being a part of this event. Please join in and let us know your nation's name so we can make them a part of that history. Also, we have 12 viewers, guys. Please like the video. It helps a lot for us to get it out there, for it to spread around to people, and for us to get these values understood by the community. Robert Washington says, also, if you guys are on Reddit, please post our stuff on the Micronation Reddits, because I haven't been able to do that too well, and I haven't been on it as much as I need to. So if you guys are more familiar with the Reddit community than I am, please fill them in on this side of the micronational community. Everybody said they're doing good. Perfect. Homegrown Gainer Kid said, please add Onyx Union to roll call. Yep, I appreciate it. Sorry about that. I mentioned you guys earlier by name, and yet I didn't add you to the thing. You more than deserve to be a part of it. Onyx Union. Did I get it? Yeah, okay. So the Onyx Union is on there as well. So we have 6 nations, including Aeternia, who are actively gathered here today, representing the micronational community. We're doing good. How are you, Duke? Fantastic. Okay, so Manu says, AP, I'd actually like to be considered a spectator right now. Okay, fantastic. So we are going to remove Tepronia, as Manu would like to be considered a spectator. So that is perfect. Back to 5. Perfect. And Manu says, maybe I'll propose an idea later. That's perfectly fine. I'm excited about it. Lazix says, hold up. Lazix was Republic of Moroxan. Hey, perfect. We have the Republic of Moroxan. We're going to be back up to 6. Republic of Moroxan. Hey, perfect. I believe I spelled that right. Did I not? I don't know if I did. Moroxan. Nope, I spelled it wrong. Forgive me. Forgive me for Moroxan. Perfect. All right. Now we are continuing. Republic of Moroxan, it is great to have you here. Sardinian Empire, perfect. Homegrown Gamer Kid, everybody here. Robert says, I'm sick and tired of micronations. Instead of trying to gain legitimacy, start stupid wars that no one wins. Agreed. And it's not even war. I like that you said non-aggression specifically, because that's what it is. It's aggression. It's being childish. It's being inconsiderate to those other people who are trying to use that micronational space online to further their connections and to try and make legitimate gains. And these people aren't even committing war. Like, they're not destroying these micronations. No micronation is ever really destroyed in a micronational war that I know of. It's usually people either agreeing to give up at some point or just annoying the crap out of each other such that they like completely leave that area of the micronational community online, but they just move somewhere else, so it doesn't really change things. Also, we have 13 viewers. Thank you guys for representing your nations here. And again, please like this video so we can get as many nations on this roll call as possible. We're trying to have the entire micronational community agree and see and understand these rules for micronations that we are trying to represent ourselves with. Max said exactly. Yep. So I think everybody's agreeing so far with this non-aggression principle. Let me know, but I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement on that. Perfect. Homegrown says, so my former nation is still represented. Absolutely. Manu says, BTW AP, did you see my DMs? I did see them. I have not had a second to reply to them. I am so sorry, Manu. That has been completely on me. But yes, I have seen them. I saw your one. Oh, goodness. I'm going to go back and look at them right now because I feel bad. Manu has sent me multiple things that I have not gotten back to, and it's not fair at all. I've just been rushing around. Yes, I do want to talk about the Micronational Risk Tournament, as well about Dimonyms for the Empire of Aeternia. That one's interesting. I like the multiple flags thing that you did, and I respect that it does represent both of your identities. We will figure that out. Before the next Micronational Risk Tournament, I will have that figured out for you. But thank you very much for representing yourself and being here, Manu. Ooh, Robert says, like, I don't know, send some envoys to your Micronation, Macronation or UN. Ooh, wait. Some envoys. Ooh, wait, hold up. What do you... I'm curious about that. Hold up. So, message retracted, Homegrown Gamer Kid says, the Mind says, idea for a rule. Ban citizens from being a part of more than one micronation. Ooh, so that's the thing that's interesting, because I feel like that's a cultural thing, right? I would agree with that. I would be like, yeah, your micronation should only have citizens that are part of that micronation. But I've also seen people who favor dual citizenship. So I don't know if that's something that necessarily should be a baseline across all micronations. I personally like that, but let me know. If everybody's in agreement and everybody's like, yep, only should be citizens of your micronation, I'll put it on there. Because, again, I'm perfectly in support of that, but I don't know if that's accurately representative of how all micronations feel. So let me know. Again, this should be base rules for all micronations, or at least most micronations. Somebody asked me a second ago, how are you going to enforce this? You know, that seems silly to throw out all these rules and to have all these nations sign it and, you know, to not be able to enforce it. Well, what this is effectively a basic rule set that most micronations can agree to as to what they are. You know, we're all trying to create these countries. We are all trying to, you know, grow and develop and connect together, but we are very different. So the idea is to have base standards of ethics, a code of ethics sort of, for micronations that give rules to live by. So that way, in your communities, when you sign this set of rules for micronations, you are saying, my micronation agrees to uphold and observe these rules. Then other nations who have signed that also agree to observe those rules and to uphold them. So we have to be the police of each other, so to speak. When you see something happening in a community that breaks these rules, you know, that's inappropriate, if somebody, you know, is bullying or harassing someone in the micronational community, if somebody is, you know, creating these micronational wars and things like that, making sure to call them out and to show them these rules and to say, hey, if you want to make a legitimate micronation, if you want to be taken seriously by communities, if you want to reach out to micronations who are actively growing and establishing connections, if you want to have increased value in who you can interact with in the community, this is the rule set that you need to follow, because this is what the most serious micronations follow. This is what the big boys follow. That is what I am going to do. That's how I'm going to hold this. Once we have all these rules posted, I'm going to post them in the intro section to our Discord. So anytime somebody comes into the newcomer section of our Discord when they first join, they're going to see that. I'm also going to post it in the general for everybody who's been there. But it's important because we're going to uphold that. So if somebody comes into our Discord and starts causing problems that break those rules, we're going to hold those rules to a standard. And if there are enough violations, that may be grounds for removal. So it will be affected in our community, certainly, but we're also going to try and affect that with other communities as well. Most other micronations have Discords or Facebooks or, you know, Reddit pages. There are a ton of gathering spaces all over the internet for micronations, whether it's their individual YouTube channels or whatever. there are places in which micronations gather that are outside of the sphere of the Empire of Aeternia. So we want to be able to affect everything within our sphere, but for those that go outside of our sphere, we want to still have those rules be affected. We still want to have people feeling like there are larger and larger safe spaces in the micronational community that they can grow and interact in. And what I mean by safe spaces is specifically areas in which they don't feel like they're going to be targeted or harassed, specifically for existing, like just for doing what it is that they are. I think that's another one that I would like to add, and I want to see if anybody agrees with me here. You should not be judged. I want to figure out how to word this, because this is kind of technical. This is getting on the line a little bit. Everybody should be able to create a micronation. Like, the act of creating a nation should not be frowned upon or whatever, in the sense of you shouldn't judge somebody for the type of nation that I don't know, though. That's so difficult, because there are nations that I disagree with, like, ethically, like fascist nations and stuff like that. Nations that support like Nazi ideology. Like, I don't support those myself, and I wouldn't condone that. So I can't say that all micronations, but I'm trying to figure out how to word that. Government type. No micronation should be judged based on government type alone. So, democracy, monarchy, communism, like, whatever it is, the type of government that your nation holds should not be the thing that defines you. Your ideology in general might be something that's kind of, toxic or kind of problematic that people can judge you on. If your symbols are really insane, or if the wording of, what you're doing with your nation is really crazy, then people can immediately go, oh, I see you're doing something that's weird and I don't want to be a part of it. But the baseline, you shouldn't have people saying, oh, you're a communist nation, you're immediately bad. Oh, you're a democratic nation, you're immediately bad. Oh, you're a monarchy, you're immediately bad. Everybody should have a chance who's trying to create a nation to get their idea out, before everybody starts destroying them. So I think that should be a thing. All... No judgment based solely on government type. And again, that doesn't mean, you can't judge somebody based on their ideology, because that's kind of a different thing. But specifically the government type. Specifically, and let me show you guys, because I wrote it down here. No judgment based solely on gov type. That's something that I'm kind of interested in bringing up, because I have seen a lot of just bashing of a particular network in the micronational community, and then it's weird because there's pockets of like just communist micronations, or just monarchist micronations, or just democratic micronations, because they feel like they have to unite and congregate together, otherwise they're, that's the only place they're going to be supported in the micronational community. And I think that's a little bit silly, so I really want to have something that says, hey, you should be allowed to go just about anywhere in the micronational community and not be judged specifically based on your government type. Okay, so let's continue down, and let's see if anybody has any opinions on that. Master Dionite says, I am representing the kingdom of Aeternia as its high king. Ooh, perfect. We have another nation to put in. The kingdom of Aeternia. I hope I spelled that right. Let's check. Kingdom of Aeternia. Kingdom of... no. I spelled it wrong. spelling everybody's nations wrong. There we go. Kingdom of Aeternia, we have you represented as well. Now 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including me. I thought there was. Oh, sorry. Onyx Union, right there. 7. Okay. Let me figure that out. Okay. Yep, 7, including Aeternia. Perfect. Okay. So, again, I think that is also 14 viewers. Guys, please give this video a like. It means a lot. Let me go ahead and see if people have supported this concept. The Mind says, idea for a rule. Ban citizens from being a part of more than one micronation. Again, I want to hear people's thoughts on that. Master, goodness. I was trying to read something and then everybody jumped in. TNT Ninja, it's good to see you. I see you jumping in here. Sherrick official jumping in here. Goodness. A lot of different people. Okay. Maximilian, let me go down. Master Deontay said, I am representing the Kingdom of Aeternia. Sherrick, how are you? It's good to see you. Sherrick says, hello, my friend. Theos, Nomos, Theonomic, Micro Empires, Emperor Sherrick here. Hey, it's good to see you, Emperor Sherrick. I guess I'll call you Theos Nomos, I guess is what I'll put. Theos. How do you spell that? Nomos. Nomos is also represented. 8 different micronations actively representing themselves here on the gathering of micronations. That is so cool. Homegrown Gamer Kid, Luke Brown says, I'm going to be on an article. Very cool. Yeah, sure. Thank you for shouting out the channel. Ari says, how do I say I have a micronation? Yeah, you just say your micronation. Yeah, just tell us what it is and we will hit it up. The Mind says you just do. Robert Washington says, how about a punishment thing, form of a fine or some sort of counterattack for breaking the rules? Absolutely not a counterattack. No aggression. No aggression. We just agreed on that. No, it doesn't matter. There's no retaliation on that. It is specifically saying, this is how we want our community to interact. This is how we are going to deal with people. So if somebody's breaking these rules, I'm not going to have a treaty with them. I'm not going to have an alliance with them. I'm not going to want to talk to them or represent their nation in any way. I'm not going to want to advertise them on the channel. I'm not going to want them to be on our Discord. I want these to be rules that are just basic ethics for micronations. And I want to see what everybody is talking about. So, but that's a great question. Eventually, yeah, if we had some like large treaty or something between nations, maybe there would be fines enacted, but nothing for this. This should just be being a good person, you know. The Mind says dual citizenship is only good for numbers. That's all it's good for. I agree with that. Ari says, I don't like the only one citizenship thing. Agreed. Thank you. Well, I can't say agreed because I support the one citizenship thing in Aeternia, but I understand that there are a lot of nations who don't have that same value, who don't share that same ideology, and that shouldn't be a requirement for the micronational community, you know what I mean? If that's your own personal opinion, you can do that, but it shouldn't be something that's forced upon the community. I think it's specific to who you are as a person. So that's fair, and we won't add that. TNT Ninja says yes. Also, Ari, what's the name of your nation? I want to put it up as one of the nations represented here. TNT Ninja says the Union of Soviet Communist Republics. Very cool. We will add your name here. Thank you. Union of Soviet Communist Republics is here. Hey, fantastic. That was a long-ass name, but I appreciate it. I'm glad for you being here. Thank you. TNT Ninja. I'm not sure if I've seen you in the streams before, but it's good to have you. And again, everybody, please like this video. Please help us keep these watch time hours up. Robert says, like punishments for breaking the rules to deter people. I think the punishment is you don't get to be like, for us, right? We have a Discord of over 200 people. So if you're really trying to start a country, if you're really trying to, build a nation and you're starting out, that's a great place to go because there are 200 people that you can ping. 30 people are online at any active moment. You can hit those people up and say, hey, I'm trying to start my nation. I want allies. I want friends. I'm looking for advice. And those people are really good about hitting you up. Our community is really cool. So saying if you don't follow these rules, you don't get to be a part of that community is, I think, a big punishment. And I would hope that other people do that as well, that this will spread to other Discord servers, and that people would say, my nation signed these rules, I'm putting it up on my Discord server so that we have a general consensus. And that'll make me feel cool, because I'm always hesitant about joining other people's Discord servers or other people's groups. Anytime there's like an online group that invites me to something, I'm very hesitant because I'll join like a Discord server or something, and then there'll be like really inappropriate stuff in there. There'll be like just bad ideologies. There'll be, like just stuff that's not even related to micronationalism, like inappropriate stuff. So I get very worried about joining things because when I join something, it represents me and it represents Aeternia. So I want to be careful about what that is. And if I see that they already have our shared rules as a baseline for what their community is, I know that I'm going into a space where I can feel comfortable talking about my nation. And I know that I'm going into a space that is collaborative and supportive of other micronationalists. So I think that's super important. Max says, so are these sets of rules are basically the same values? Yes, Max, that's a great question. So they're essentially ethics for micronations, saying that we think that as a baseline micronationalist, no matter what type of micronation you run, no matter how you're hoping to run your micronation, no matter how long you've been a micronationalist, no matter what part of the micronational sphere you come from or whatever, that everybody who is a micronationalist should be able to agree to these base rules for how they act, how they represent themselves to other nations. And I think that is super important to define. Because if you can come up with these rules that everybody can agree on and that we can all sign together, then you can stand up for each other and say, hey, we've all agreed to this. We're all cool with these rules. There's somebody who's coming in who doesn't agree with these and who isn't cool. We know exactly who that is, and it's easy to kick him out now because we've just all agreed to this. This is something that is a consensus. It's not that we're being unfair to anybody. We told everybody the rules to begin with, and now we can all expect that new coming micronations who may not know any better will have a place to immediately start to understand how they should act and how they should behave. Because sometimes people will come in, and if they see everybody trolling, and if they see everybody doing micronational, warfare and things like that, they may start to do that as well just because they think that's what the community is. But then if you can clarify to them, no, that's just some fringe group that's causing problems. This is how true micronations act. This is how you get to be diplomatic with other nations. This is how you become a well-respected nation in the community. If all they have to do are follow these basic rules, micronations can start coming up easy that are good. And it makes it harder and harder for people to turn other members of this community into toxic members of the community. It's easier and easier to generate right off the bat productive, beneficial members of our community who are giving their all, who are supporting each other, and who are coming up with new creative ideas. So yeah, what we want to do is we want to get all the nations who are here. Again, United Empire, Grand Duchy of South Florida. Let me read all these names off. Republic of Moroccan, Kingdom of Slaria, Onyx Union, Theos Nomos, United Union of Soviet Communist Republics, and the Empire of Aeternia, and everybody else who is here. Ari, I know you have a nation, your nation as well. If you tell it to me, I will throw it in this roll call. Everybody who is here, if you are not a part of our Discord already, Sherik from Theos Nomos, please join our Discord. I want to send out these rules as a part of our Discord, and I want to share that as something that everybody can sign and can represent their nation, saying our nation agrees to these basic rules. And I would be excited to see that. So please do, guys. Also, 14 viewers. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those likes up. Let's get that watch time up. I appreciate you guys. Homegrown Gamer Kid says, Empire of Aeternia, can I speak my language in the chat? Yeah, sure. That's perfectly fine. Onyx Knees, that's cool. The Mind says, Gamer Kid, what's your language? Manu says, just don't expect everyone here to understand. That's fair. I don't think that's the expectation at all. I just think he wants a place to like post his language. And I understand that a lot of people like conlangs, but they, you know, it's hard to get people to join your language if nobody understands your language because it's something you made up. Robert Washington Jr. says, I want to run for president someday and recognize all micronations, citing the right to self-determination. Well, Robert, if you become the president, I would be excited to see that. I am very interested in it. That's very cool. I believe in you. Homegrown Gamer Kid said, it's a communist. TNT Ninja is communist, and I do not care. Very cool. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, it shouldn't matter what type of government you have. That's exactly why this is the second thing. The government alone should not determine how people view your nation. It does to the effect that they understand a little bit better how things work in your society, but people should not hate you specifically because of the title that your government goes by. That's not fair. So I support you, Onyx. That means a lot. Luke, you can 100% shout out your you can 100% shout out your our channel. It means a lot. Thank you. Ari says, my country is the monarchy of Zelexia and New America. Hey, very cool. If you don't mind, I'm going to just put the monarchy of Zelexia because that's quite a long name, but I will Lexia, I'll put the whole thing. And New America. Okay, cool. Did I spell Zelexia right? I think I did. I just want to make sure that I don't get confused and think New America is like a different micronation. I think we're good. Also, how did that happen? Did you guys like join up with another micronation called New America? Or did you just go like, also, this is New America as well? Like, are they multiple different provinces? How does that work? Robert says, nobody edgy teens be like commu-fascist Joe Mama Union of suburban republics. I appreciate that. I think that's the larger thing, right? Is that if you are... That goes beyond government, though. I think if you're posting that, people can clearly tell that you're trolling at least a little bit. So I feel like that goes beyond it, right? That's the name of your nation. That's not the government type. The government type has nothing to do with that. If you're posting that, I would judge it because it's silly. But also, we have 15 viewers. I appreciate you guys hanging out and representing your nations in the first ever gathering of Micronations. You all have helped to make this be fantastic, and we are continuing to talk about your nations and about what's going on. Again, please like the video if you can to help spread it around, because we have 15 people watching, hanging out right now. Robert Washington, Homegrown Gamer Kid, Onyx said 9 if you count the Union of Soviet Communist Republics. Yeah, how many nations do we have represented right now? Sardinia, United Empire, Grand Duchy of South Florida, Republic of Morocco, Kingdom of Valeria, Slaria, Onyx Union, Theostomos, United Soviet Communist Republics, the Monarchy of Zelexia and New America, and Aeternia. 10 nations actively coming together to help determine rules and baseline standards for the ethics of micronations. That is incredible, and we are making huge progress on our first summit, on our first gathering as nations. Thank you all so much for helping to make this possible. I want to continue. We're doing good work. Like, we're actively carving out concepts for the micronational community, and I wonder how they're going to react. I wonder if there's going to be people who said, why did they bring up all these rules? Why are they trying to start stuff for the whole micronational community? They don't represent the community. We got to get them on board, guys. We got to get them to support these rules. They're baseline. Everybody can agree on these. It doesn't matter what government type you are. It doesn't matter what your concept of micronationalism is. there should be some base standard that everybody can agree on, and I think we can do this. Max brought something up. We believe that a limited number of citizens can have dual citizenship, such as diplomats in similar situations. Absolutely. So that's why we didn't put that as a rule. Ari already brought that up from the monarchy of Zelexia, so they are opposed to a single citizen rule. And we know that oh goodness, sorry, I have to go back and the Union of Soviet Communist Republics also disagrees with that. So that's a fifth of our members here so far. 2 out of 10 people, 2 out of 10 acting nations disagree with that rule. So we're definitely not going to put it in. You know, if that's a fifth of our representation here, I'm sure it's a higher percentage in the community as a whole. And we have to think about that as we go through these rules. If somebody disagrees with something, please speak up, because if you disagree with it and we're taking a small subset of the community, imagine what people on Twitter are saying. Imagine what people, you know, on the rest of the internet, on the subreddit, are going to say about these rules. So we really want to make sure that we are actively representing as many nations as we can, and your voice matters in that. So 100%, that means a lot. We have 16 viewers right now. Get them likes up. The most viewers we've ever had is like close to 20. We've had like 17 or 18 viewers max at one point. If we could hit over 20, that would be an absolute mind blow. Okay, so TNT Ninja saying yes. Thank you very much for representing. Max says both countries should have same values and goals. That's nice. Master Dionite says, for the ban of being a part of more than one micronation, I feel it's limiting the citizens. As was stated before in the comments section by AP, dual citizenship exists, but at the same time, it could also. That's fair. Empire of Truto. Truto is here. Hold up. Now we got Truto representing. Okay, perfect. Truto is here. Hey, fantastic. So Truto, please also leave your comments and thoughts on the state of micronationalism and help us to come up with these rules for micronations. We have now 11 nations actively representing their members, and we have 18 viewers, getting close to that 20. We got 2 away. Invite your friends, invite your neighbors, come watch the stream. We're about to blow the roof off of our biggest stream ever. This is going to be crazy. Okay, so Balaji is here. Hold up. Balaji is here. I got to throw Balaji on the list. Republic of Balaji. I want to say I spelled that right, but I know I didn't. So we're going to look. Baliga, excuse me. I keep calling you Balagia, and that's inappropriate. Baliga, Republic of Baliga is here. It's good to see the Republic of Baliga representing. They are a big part of our community and have been for quite a while. So we have 12 nations actively making decisions for the community. We have 18 viewers right now. Thank you guys so much. And Armin from Sawdustistan. Hey, fantastic. Perfect. So we have 13 now. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, including the Empire of Aeternia, representing the micronational community, trying to come up with rules. So again, we have the non-aggression principle. We have no judgment based solely on government type. What other rules can we create as a baseline standard for micronations? And would your micronation sign onto this list? Because once we finish this list, Aeternia is signing this as official rules for its Discord server. And we would ask that any nation that signs these rules and agrees that their nation would obey these rules as just basic ethics for micronations, that we would hope that you would apply these on your Discord server so that and on other places that you interact with the community, such that we can make the community a healthier place. People leave the micronational community all the time after, just months of being here, after a year of being here, because they feel like it's toxic. But this is a way that we as the micronational community can sincerely make a change in that, and we can make a new community for ourselves. We can make it more productive, and we can make it an easier place to gather citizens, to gather support for our other nations, to create alliances. This is the way that we pop off. This is the way that we do it big. Max says, will these rules be on your website? 100%. So I want to make this into an official rule list that's like a nice, beautiful document. I want to have every nation that signs it have an official place on the document to have their nation represented. And then I'm going to put that on the website to say, all of these nations agree with these rules. If you interact with any of these nations, they agree with the rules and they have supported it. And we're going to ask that those nations also put that on their websites and put that on their Discord servers and show that we are a united front for baseline ethics in the community. Luke says, I have many citizens with different languages like Hebrew and Arabic. That's very cool. Sardinian Empire says, my boss is the Empire of Sardinian. Very cool. Sabatat said, what's happening? Hey, fantastic. We also have Sabatat. Sabatat, we are, if you didn't know, again, creating rules, baseline standards, for the micronational community. So if you hear anything that you want to weigh in on, if you have any ideas for just baseline ethics for how micronations should behave when interacting with each other, please let us know, because we're trying to fix the toxicity in the community. We're trying to make larger and larger places for the community to be healthy and happy. So if your micronation can sign off on these rules, that gives us yet another nation that's supporting this and helping to grow standards for the community. Right now, our two rules are the non-aggression principle, essentially just don't be aggressive to other nations. Don't start wars, don't start problems with other nations, don't retaliate against other nations who are doing warfare and things like that. Let people know and we will kick them out of the communities that we're a part of. You know, if somebody's causing problems, that non-aggression principle in our Discord will have them kicked out. Same thing with no judgment based solely on government type. If somebody's coming into the Discord and saying all communist nations are dumb and they suck and all democratic nations suck and all monarchies suck, you know, we will deal with that as well. So we want people to feel represented and to feel a part of this community. And we hope that the other nations who are here today will sign on and will officially help to establish these rules as a part of the community. Again, 18 viewers. We are blowing up, guys. Almost to 20. If we get 2 more viewers, that will cap off the largest stream we've ever had, the most viewers at any one time. Okay, perfect. So, Baliga said hi. Hello, Baliga. It's good to see you. Robert Washington Jr. says, nice, encourage already studying law and reading presidential history to try to run for city council. I believe in you, and let us know how your city council run goes. I wanna follow it, and I wanna support it. Armin says, hey, yo, AP, what's going on? We are creating rules for micronations, as previously stated. Sabatat says, sacred Saban states here. Ooh, very cool. Manu says, the monarchy of Zelexia, New America. Very cool. Sherik says, my micronation is named Theos Nomos and is a Christian theonomic micronation headed by me, the Emperor and King. I am based on currently my 2 acres in Lindsay, Oklahoma, and building a floating island. Hey, congratulations. That's very cool. Ari says, Zelexia has the new American part because we have a territory claims with another micronation. Very nice. With another person. Gotcha. Okay, so I'm learning. Robert says, let me say the map of micronations on your websites looks bussin'. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm trying to get it up. Also, we have 19 viewers. We're 1 away. We're that close. That's very cool. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get the micronational map back up and running. We need people to help run it, people to help vet the responses and to put people on it. But it's so much. We're backlogged on it by a lot. But we're going to keep going. Sherik, if you want to be a part of our micronational map, you already told us, you know, your approximate location. You can represent yourself on the micronational map on our website by filling out some stuff that is on our website itself, filling out an application. Luke Braun said, Sherik, I'll shout out your channel. Did you get my message? Very cool. Homegrown Gamer Kid said, I'm a diplomat of the Onyx Union. Homegrown Gamer Kid said, I kind of disagree with single micronational citizenship. Fantastic. So we also have the Onyx Union, also not down for that. So yeah, we're not going to add that as a rule, assured. Master Dionite says, what about a standard rule of conduct, as in when a leader or citizens conduct themselves in everyday life, maybe? I agree. So that's kind of where the non-aggression principle and the no judgment based solely on government type thing is. It's saying these are the general ethics. These are the way that you should act. But what specifically? I agree 100%. I think you're right on the mark, Master Dionite, with what we're trying to do. as a general rule. We're trying to make sure that all micronational leaders who are interacting with each other can be on a base level respectful and can make progress in collaboration. So what do you think another rule to add to this is? No aggression, no judgment based solely on government type. What else? What else do we have here? The Mind says, why? Sabotage says, am I too late or is he just very behind in chat? No, you're not too late at all. I'm very behind in chat. Mind says, way behind in chat. Hey, perfect. Okay. Luke Brown says, EB Empire if you want. People's Republic of Balaji says, I think depending on whether the nations allow dual citizenship and if they're actually including both nations. Yep. Ari says a new rule. And this, wait, never mind. Stephen George says the community, yet I've never heard of these nations. Stephen George, welcome to the chat then. If you don't know, I am Emperor AP of the Empire of Aeternia. Have you heard of our nation? If not, this is the community that we are a part of. If you don't follow our Discord server, you probably haven't heard of a lot of these nations, but some of them are on other sources as well. If you follow the Twitter, if you follow Instagram, and the micronational community on those places, you would see some of these people. I know Onyx is on Twitter, for example. I know that there are a number of, I believe Sabotat is on Twitter and on Instagram. There are a number of nations who represent themselves here who are just on other platforms. If you haven't heard of these nations, I'm sorry, but it may be that you don't know enough about the community. But it's good to see you. It's good to have you here. If you want to represent your nation in all of this and have yourself sign the rules for micronations, please join in and add yourself to the group. If you tell us what the name of your nation is, we will put it down in the roll call. Max says same. Baliga says, I'm fed up with people saying stuff like religious nations suck, democratic nations suck, and so forth. That's exactly why we're saying the government type should not be what the judgment is, 100%. So, Baliga, if you are saying that, you should 100% sign these accords because these rules for micronations, because that's exactly what it's about, is saying, hey, there's just this basis that we should have together. Robert says, theocratic, you mean theocracies, you mean Baliga? Ari says, can we allow like a sort of micronational politics, like I'm against blah, 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 but no war? Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that's the concept. These are just basic rules for micronations. These don't encounter specific situations. They're just saying, don't be aggressive toward other micronations. You know, don't start trolling or spamming them. Don't be overly annoying. You can state your opinion. That's fine, you know, but don't continue to accelerate things. Don't continue to escalate arguments and cause problems for each other in the community. Don't go and harass people, essentially. That's what the non-aggression principle is. No judgment based solely on government type is essentially if you see a nation that just says communist, or if you see one that says theocracy, or if you see one that says monarchy, don't judge it based off of that. Judge it based off of what they're doing, who they are. You can say, I don't like a nation because I don't like the way that their leader acts. And that is perfectly fine. That is a reasonable justification for your nation not supporting another nation. That's politics. That's fine. That's your opinion. That's 100% ethical. That's 100% reasonable. Just don't do it because you say, I don't like communist nations or whatever. You don't have to like communist nations. That's fine. But don't bother those nations and harass those nations because they are of a particular ideal. You should still be able to attempt to collaborate with those nations. You don't have to, but if you are at least cordial with those nations, it makes getting along in the community easier, and it potentially allows you to find some people who you would have never thought of who have great ideas to help your nation. Hold up. We have other things. Okay. Balagia says, can we stop nations who sign this treaty with messing with other nations' internal affairs? Yeah, so that would kind of be the point. We're not necessarily going to be the police in the sense that we're like, now we're in control of your nation and you can't do anything. It's more so gatekeeping in the community. It's more so saying, this is how we want people to act in this community. And if you don't support this, that's fine. You're just not going to be a part of our Discord. You're not going to be a part of our connections to the community. You can go to the other places in the community that don't have these agreements, but those are also probably going to be higher percentage toxicity places. NTC says, here we go, Aeternia trying to conquer the micronationalist community. We are certainly trying to branch out. We are certainly trying to get people to come up with baseline standards. So 100%. And we're an empire, so we're always about that expansion. But NTC, that is a great point. We appreciate you being here. NTC, do you represent a nation? And if so, what's their name? We can add them to the roll call. If you agree with the rules, so far, non-aggression, no war, no, causing problems, trolling other nations, no judgment based solely on government type. Don't like shit on people and whatever and cause problems like that. Simply because they're a specific type. As we add these rules, we're going to have a big thing. We're going to write it out. We're going to have all these nations sign it if they support it, and we're going to move forward. So again, please let me know. Sabotat said, I would say that all micronations should have the freedom of movement and speech. 100%. Okay. Wait, hold up. We have a lot of them. Armin retracted his message, but I liked it though. Hold up. Armin said, especially messing with elections. I miss it. Ari says, like normal politics, like for example, Russia and the USA. Yeah. Robert says, I know, make sure micronations guarantee equal rights. But that, again, is based on like ideology. You know what I mean? Equal rights depends on what rights you know and agree with. So I feel like that's hard. It's hard to say everybody has equal rights, but then what are those rights? Then you have to define the rights, and then some nations are going to agree, some nations are going to disagree. This is about like ethical discourse between nations. So I don't know if we should dictate how a nation should be run in this. Sabotat said, I would say that all micronations should have the freedom of movement and speech. I agree with that, but so nations should have it. Yeah, I agree with that. Like the concept that everybody should be able to speak their mind, but again, aggression, judgment, it's hard though. It's hard though because you have to define what that means. What does that mean by the freedom of speech? Like, does the leader of any micronation get to say anything they want, even if it breaks the non-aggression principle? Like, these are the questions that we have to get into and kind of start nitty-gritty figuring this out, because this is rough. I agree that all nations should have a place and time to speak, but I don't necessarily know that they. It just feels like it's a thing of trying to govern their nation. The wording. We will have to work on the wording, but I do want to come back to it. If everybody's down for a freedom of speech thing, we will figure out how to like word it properly and put it in there. Because this is about nations interacting with other nations. This isn't about how a government runs their internal affairs. So we're not trying to dictate, every nation needs to have these basic rules for their citizens, because that's not appropriate. That's based on how they want to create their countries, and we shouldn't judge people based on what type of country they're going to create. You can judge them individually, but we shouldn't as a group say you're not allowed to create a micronation because you created one without freedom of speech. If that's what they want to do, that's what they can do. You can disagree with it, and you can say it's wrong that you don't have freedom of speech. Gosh, I choked on I choked on the freedom of speech. Goodness. I need a Gatorade, excuse me. An unknown sports drink, excuse me. Refreshing yellow. Yeah, so I think we shouldn't be trying to determine how nations are governed internally. We should be trying to understand how people should interact with other nations in the community. But these are all great points. I want to see more. I really like it. I'm way behind. Hold up. Okay. Matt said hello. Matt, it's good to see you. Also, again, 19 viewers. I'm so hyped. We're almost to 20. Fair introduction or representation. Agreed. Proper introduction. I like that. Proper introduction. Right to introduction. So, right to fair introduction. How about this, guys? Let me know about this, and we will go through and define all of these in the official document. And we'll write down all of these things are, the exact descriptions of what I mean by this, and then we can go through and sign it. But what I'm thinking about the right to fair introduction is effectively the right to free speech for a country, not for the individuals inside the country, not their internal affairs. The right. Oh, we have 20 viewers on this side. So my chat says, oh, we just hit 20. We just hit 20. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the biggest that we've ever had a stream before. Thank you guys so much. We hit 20 viewers all at once. We got to do a party. I'm gonna be flipping a lamp. We're gonna be freaking out during an official micronational meeting. This is insane. Hold up. I'm the leader of this micronational meeting. I'm kind of organizing this thing, and I'm tripping right now. Y'all gotta excuse me. This is like an achievement for the Empire of Aeternia. Thank you all for being here and making history with us. Oh my goodness, thank you. Even if it was just for a second. We saw it dip up and dip back down. The longer we could keep that, the longer I'm gonna be freaking out. But thank you guys so much. Ooh, that's crazy. Okay. Y'all, I feel so lucky. Thank y'all so much. The right to fair introduction should essentially be the allowed ability for any nation to make their initial pitch. When you come into a community, you shouldn't be judged based on, if you're the representative. Oh, 21. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is crazy. Man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Fair introduction. I want to keep on track. Fair introduction. All about allowing somebody to make their initial pitch for what their micronation is, right? They should be allowed to say, hey guys, I'm here in the community. This is my micronation. This is what we're trying to do. And they should be allowed to say that without people giving them a whole bunch of shit, just for being a communist micronation or a theocratic micronation or a democratic micronation or monarchy or whatever. They should also be allowed to give that initial pitch. You can then say, my ideology does not agree with what you're doing, and you can do that, but everybody should be allowed to speak their mind and initially have a fair introduction. People shouldn't be judging a nation before they even come into the chat. People shouldn't be, ostracizing nations or kicking them out of the community before they get a chance to hear what those people are having to say. Again, 20 viewers. Thank you guys so much. We are popping all the way off in this stream. But yeah, 100% right to fair introduction. If everybody agrees with that, we will keep it on there. If we have people who don't agree, we will erase it. But let me know what you guys think. This is one that I just thought of as the closest equivalent to a nation's freedom of speech within a micronational sphere. Allowing people to come into your community and make their initial pitch without being judged, without anybody having any preconceived notions of them, just allowing them to say who they are and what they're trying to do. They should be allowed to make that initial pitch. Matt says, hello. Hey, Max says, so many nations getting shut down quickly without a fair introduction, and many have oppositions. Exactly, Max. That's exactly why we need the right to fair introduction. Every nation should be allowed to make their pitch to the community, and that should be fine. Also, 21 viewers. I am absolutely tripping right now. I'm about to flip out this chair. I'm about to grab Moondust, and we're going to dance together in just a second. You're about to see the Aeternian cat dance right here, because Moondust, he's chilling right there, and he's sleeping like a little baby, but he's about to get danced with right now. Stefan says, I've been a micronationalist for 6 years. Definitely heard of Aeternia, but not in the bigger part of the community. What is your opinion on the microwiki sector? That's where I'm active. See, so that's a big thing. I have never gotten into the microwiki sector, and everybody's like, that's the big thing. We're here, like we have a micro wiki, but that's about it. We're not super big on it. Also 22. I'm tripping because we're at 22. Taylor Swift's song had ass. Thank you guys. Oh goodness. I'm 23. If we can get it to 23, it'll be on me, and I'll shout everybody out. Thank you guys. Oh goodness. What's your opinion on the microwiki sector? I like the microwiki sector. It's cool. I felt like initially when I joined the community, I had problems with it because there are a ton of microwikis that are created but aren't updated. So sometimes people will have contact information on there. A lot of the time they don't though. And then whenever you try and reach out to those nations, they're not necessarily active anymore. So I feel like it's hard to determine who's alive in the microwiki sector. Maybe I just didn't do it right, and so there could be a problem there. But I feel like when I first started getting into micronationalism. I wanted to find a country to be a part of instead of founding my own country. I really wanted to be a part of another one that could be more successful than something I could create. And I couldn't find one. Like all the countries that I hit up either didn't respond to me, or the ones that I did, I just wasn't interested in joining them for ideological reasons. But very few, very far between, very hard to find active nations in the MicroWiki sector, I feel. But again, please let me know if I've just been using it wrong. My MicroWiki hasn't been updated in a long time, so I have no room to judge. Ari says, my Micronation citizens is mostly Catholic, if not all. Oh, very cool, Ari. Baliga says, we should base our judgment on actions, not ideology. I agree. And that's why I think the right to fair introduction is a great rule for that. The concept that if you have somebody coming into your micronation Discord server, let's say, and everybody already is like complaining about that, and they're like, oh, don't let this guy into your server or whatever, as long as they haven't like caused problems in the server yet, as long as they haven't done anything crazy, if they're just saying, hey, this is who we are, let's make our pitch to everybody, that should be fine. Once they make the pitch, you can criticize their pitch or whatever, but they should at least have the right to a fair introduction and to be able to speak their mind for what they want to do. Stefan says, yep, I've been in the micronational community for a while. Baliga says, shouldn't judge people based on ideology, just actions. Manu says, less than a year left until MicroCon. Boy, I know it. I'm excited about MicroCon, but I couldn't wait for MicroCon. I wanted our own MicroCon here, and I feel like there's so few people who are actually able to go to MicroCon. I don't even know if we're going to be able to go to MicroCon. If we have the money, we're going to try, but this is where it's about right here. This is what is big to me, is having the most micronations represented. Like Stefan said earlier, I haven't heard of a lot of these nations. We need to have people hearing about these nations. I would love to have a census for micronations so that people understand who all's out there. It sucks that the majority of the media coverage for micronations are based on very few micronations who can go to MicroCon. That's silly. And we should be doing something better about that. We should be inviting media outlets to things like this, where they can come and see how micronations interact on a digital scale and how large the community actually is that isn't being represented. But another thing, Ari says, just curious, but can a nation back out of this once they sign it? Yeah, just let me know, I guess, and we can take your signature off of it. But why though? Like, these are just, again, standard rules for micronation. Like, if you are against it, yeah, back out of it. But also, if you're against it already, like, just don't sign it. We want you to sign it, but these should be rules that like you agree on and that you think are like a good idea. So that's why we're having everybody's opinion. That's why if a nation says, I don't like that rule, then we'll cut it out, because it's trying to be as accurately reflective of the ideals of the micronational community as possible. And it's just ethics for how people interact. Once we create updates, like we'll have this one, and then the next time we do a gathering of micronations, we may have another updated version, and that version will have no signatures, and we will try it again. The old version will have all the signatures, and we'll have that posted, and then we'll be like, we're gonna try this new one, let's see how many signatures we can get on this one, and then we'll make the updated one. So you could choose to sign an old one and not sign a new one, or if you do want to remove your name from one, you can message me and I'll take your name off of it. But again, I want this to be something that you feel represents your nation. So if you can, please do that. It helps a lot. Also, 21 viewers. We could straight up hit 4,000 watch time hours like this stream if we wanted to. If we have 20, goodness. We probably can't, but we may be able to get over 100 watch time hours this stream, which would be insane. We could for real do it. Okay. Max says, so many nations get shut down. Yep. Okay, we saw that one. Baliga says no. Hold up. TJ jumped in. It's good to see you. We have multiple things. Oh, goodness, we have 22 viewers. Thank you guys so much. Matt says a new record. Our last record was 18, I believe. You know it. I appreciate y'all. Hey, everybody's hitting it up. Everybody's supporting. 23. That's my birthday. That's my age. 23. Killing it. Hey. All right. Wendigo said, been a while. It's good to see you. Francisco said, greetings, AP from Rhodesia. We're going to add Rhodesia in. Hold up. We have a roll call. Rhodesia, please let us know what you think about these rules for micronations. We're trying to create in this gathering of micronations, a basic ethical code for micronationalists. How micronationalists should engage, how different micronations should interact with each other on a base level. So far, we have the non-aggression principle. Don't start wars with people. Don't troll people. Don't harass people online. If people are harassing you, don't retaliate. Don't stoop to their level. Instead, let's agree together that we can just remove those people from our spaces on the internet, our communities. I can remove them from our Discord, for example. No judgment based solely on government type. Don't just dislike someone because they're a communist nation. Don't just judge people because they're a theocratic micronation or whatever. Right to fair introduction. Everybody should get their initial chance to pitch their idea for their micronation before everybody starts like clowning on it, before everybody starts, making their opinion of, oh, well, I like this nation or I don't like this nation or whatever. At least allow them the right to a fair introduction for who they are and what they're trying to do. I think all those are reasonable. I think they're great for like introductory rules for just how micronations should behave. And I respect it a lot. I respect that we've been able to come up with this so far. I want to see what else we can come up with. Let's see. Okay. Less than a year left in Microcon. Okay. Francisco said, can someone tell me what's happening? I tried to explain, but I know I'm very far behind in the chat. Armin says, while I generally agree on no judgment on government type, I must assert that we cannot have ties with micro-governments that take after groups such as the Nazis, Islamic State, etc. That's different, though. That's ideological. That's not government type. Government type is things like democracy, communist, theocratic, stuff like that. The way that the government is formed is one thing. Ideology, if you say, we support this particular extreme ideology, that's different. We don't have that on here. You can judge somebody because they have like Nazi ideologies or whatever. We don't support Nazi ideologies at all. In fact, that's a big part of our Discord server. So if that's completely different. We're just saying don't judge somebody based on the type of government, the way that they are structuring their nation. But ideology is a completely different thing. That's why we don't have that on here. Wendigo said, been a while. Agreed, it's good to see you. How have you been? Sherik says, the non-aggression principle is libertarian concept that means physical aggression, never about verbal aggression or speech, my friends, and only means. That's not what it means in this concept. You can say that to your thing. That's not how it's represented in this context. For micronations, for these rules for micronations, the non-aggression principle means don't be a dick to people. Don't be a dick to people. Don't start harassing them online. Don't start doxing them. Don't start trying to hack them. Don't start trying to, spam their pages and things like that. That's the concept. Robert Washington says they should be allowed. Should they be allowed? Should what be allowed? The Mind says, here's a better idea for a rule. Should follow human rights. Again, though, that's an internal affairs thing. We're not trying to deal with how somebody governs their own nation. We're trying to deal with how nations interact with each other. Ethics for a base micronationalist. How all micronationalists should behave when in regards to one another. You can create a micronation based on anything you want with any rules you want. We're not trying to dictate that. We are trying to dictate how micronationalists behave in a sphere of the micronational community, because people leave the micronational community due to toxicity. People leave the community because people argue with them and fight with them just based on them trying to start a nation and understand what it is. So I think that's different, and we shouldn't have that. Okay. Lots of questions. But I understand where you're coming from, Sheriff. Robert Washington Jr. says they should be allowed. Again, I'm curious as to what. Sabotat says, I suggest inside the summit thing, all micronations should have a voice inside the summit and vote on what happens. That's kind of what we're doing. But again, this isn't really for the summit. This is more just a general rules for this isn't for the gathering of micronations. This isn't rules for that. This is rules specifically for micronationalists. It's ethics for micronationalists. Essentially, I want to get everybody to sign this and say, if I see something happening in the micronational community that breaks any of these things, I'm not going to support that nation. If I see people, causing problems for other nations, if I see nations that are constantly going to war, if I see nations against other nations, if I see nations that are constantly, saying, we're taking down all the communist micronations, or we're taking down all the theocratic micronations, or whatever, or all the monarchies, then you don't support them, because they're just ideological extremists. That's essentially what that is. Wendigo says, NAP cheers, bro. Hey, very cool. Robert says, I don't know, someone elected press they don't like, they FRM Micronation. Should that serious? I'm very confused. The mind said, we're at 20. Yeah, we hit it for a minute. We're at 18 right now, but the counter up there says 16. So I'm trying to figure out which one's correct. Sabotat said they have to anyways, or they go to Macronation prison. This is interesting. The libertarian non-aggression principle does not limit verbal aggression, only physical aggression. It does not limit retaliation, only limits physical violence initiation. And that's not what we're talking about. We're not doing it for that. That's, you can define it that way. That's not how it is defined in this context. This is a different thing. And we're going to define it, and it's going to be written in a document that we're going to get all these nations to sign. If you don't want to sign it, you don't have to sign it, but it helps our community. Bellagio says, also, we are fine with you calling us Bellagio. Some nations call us Bellagio, and we like it. Okay, very cool. I appreciate it. I will probably switch back and forth. TNT, so yay, 20 viewers. Yeah, y'all helped to do it. Y'all helped to kill it. It was a new record, for real. Beliga said, we like lots of people calling us different names. Agreed. It helps to bring together your community. I respect that. The mind says 19 again. Sabotage says, 1 second, I'm going to hop on 4 accounts. Thank you. Homegrown Gamer Kid said, I want 420 people here. If there were nearly 450 people here, we would kill our watch time. It would be over. Max says, my other account is the 21st watcher. Thank you so much, Max. You helped to do it. TJ said, second account here. Hey, very cool, TJ. Thank you very much for helping us. And then I think Sherrick posted it again. The mind says, alt accounts are no-no. TJ said, why? Master Dionite says, I'm at work now, so I have to hop off in a minute or two. I understand that. Good to see you, though, Master Dionite. TJ said, I was kidding. I only own 2. Beliga says, right to fair introduction is good. Thank you very much. Then we will keep that one. Robert says, he's a good boy cat. He is a good boy cat. He's cute. He's napping. Edwin says, yo, let's go for 25. Agreed. I want to go for 25. Max says, yo, let's go for 25. Agreed. Truto says, I agree with AP that pain when you find some cool nation, but there is no way to reach out. Agreed. That should be another thing. Base email contact info, right? I don't know though. Goodness. Onyx says, hey, I'm a cat. Yeah, that's his online persona. 27 Kyle says, hi. Hello, 27 Kyle. It's good to have you. Stefan says, for some reason, there's a delay. You read my message 20 minutes after it's sent. Well, anyway, I unfortunately have to go now. It's good to see you, Stefan. And it's not a delay in the video. It's a delay in me reading the chats. I'm reading all the chats, and there's a ton of them. So forgive me, but it was good to see you. Sabotage said, I want to be able to make it to Microcon. Oh, goodness, us either. Potentially. We're going to try, but it looks hard as of right now. You said the cat dance was at 23. I got to do it. You're right. I'll do it at the end. I will straight up do a silly cat dance at the end. I'll try my best. Yo, over 20 people. Yeah, everybody's hype about it. Let me see. Robert says, that's a good idea. Sabotage said, yes, I completely agree. Media is just mainly sourced around Malasia and 2 other people. Yeah, it's silly. 27 Kyle said, 20 people have nothing to do and bored. Helping to create micronational agreements. Also, almost 20 viewers again. We got 19 viewers again. If it hits 20 and goes over 20, I'll do the cat dance very quickly. Okay, let's see. Master Dionite says, when will the signing take place? That's a great question. I may do another live stream for the signing, but okay, hit 20. Hold up, I gotta do it. Let me grab Moondust. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I'm getting him. I'm getting him. He's here for you guys. He's here for it. Hello, Moon. Let me see if I can... Oh, no. Oh, no. There we go. Ta-da. 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 Sorry, Mooney. He's freaking out. He's not happy with me. He said, I don't care about your online audience. Why would you dare to disturb my slumber? Human, I run this house. How dare you? This is interesting. Thank you guys. Again, thank you guys so much for that. That was very cool. Okay, so let's continue. Oh, no, my things. My things aren't popping up. Oh, because it's the live screen. Gotcha. There we go. Okay, so Robert says, I'm tired of searching up Micronation and seeing Kevin Ball wanting to wear the same dictator outfit looking really silly. 100% agree. There should be more media coverage for general Micronations. What I'll do, if we get to go to MicroCon, I'm going to do a speech and I'll write a thing saying we should have a moment to respect all the Micronations out there that are online who can't be here today but deserve to have credit for being a part of the micronational community. I'll rep you guys. I'll rep the digital micronational community 100%. International micronational community, I got you. Empire of Truto said, AP, what's your opinion on minors and micronationalism? It's hard because when I started my micronation, I think I was either 17 or just turned 18. So technically I was probably an adult, but I would say that micronationalism is something that is hard to do. The older that you are, the more access to resources that you have, the better you'll be at it. But starting at a younger age gives you more of a mindset for doing it. It helps you to understand the community better, helps you to be a part of it. There is nothing wrong with having young people in micronationalism, but they should be careful. The biggest thing that I can advise for minors in micronationalism, support your fellow micronationalists and tell adults in your life what's happening. Like, if you are going online and you're acting as the leader of a nation and you're representing a country, or even if you're a citizen of another country or whatever, hit up your family members, your parents, your guardians, and tell them, hey, this is what I'm doing. I think it's important. I would like to be able to talk to people online, but people online are strangers. You got to be careful. So please just make sure that everybody knows what you're doing, knows how it's happening, because you don't want to be without that protection. And especially if you're hiding it or like snooping around with it, it makes it seem like a very concerning thing to adults. I'm an adult right now. Like I said, I'm 23. And in the next probably 5-6 years, something like that, I may be having kids. So it's a thing where, I, for my own kids, would be concerned if I found them like just messaging, especially at a fairly young age, a lot of people online who are just strangers and talking about like where they are and like what they're doing and all those things. So I feel like it's a part of the internet age, but you should let your parents know what's happening so that at very least they can make sure you're okay. And they can check in on those things. Because if people are treating you appropriately and doing everything right, nobody should have a problem. But if there ever is a problem, your parents, your guardians are going to be the best people to help you handle that. And they'll always be in your corner. So support them. Give them a shout out. Tell them what's happening. Let them be a part of your activities online. That's what I say about minors and micronationalism. Manu says, let's see if anyone among the 5 active users in r/micronations wants to join. Yes, please. Thank you. Like I said, Manu, please. Anybody who is on r/micronations, or if you're on the micro wiki, we saw Stefan talking about the micro wiki as well. Please hit up people on other media outlets that I haven't been able to get to. I'm not very good with the r/micronations. People really don't hit me up whenever I post on r/micronations. So please, 21. We jumped from 18 to 21. Apparently, Manu got some people in here. Thank you very much, Manu. If you guys can spread out, hit those sources up, let them know what's happening, we can help to continue making these rules. Sabotage says all micronations who break a rule in the summit has the right to have a court case and is officially proven guilty. No, because it's not for this. We're not having a tribunal. We're not having, judgments here. What this is for every individual nation to agree with personally and saying, I am going to uphold these rules for my micronation, and my micronation is going to judge other micronations based on these rules and how their leaders and how their people interact with these rules. So we're not finding people innocent or guilty of these things unless they're in your own server or in your own community. We are going to apply these to our Discord server, where that's just the ethics for how people should live and how people should be interacting with each other while they're in our Discord server. And we would ask that the nations that sign this do the same for theirs. So if somebody is found guilty of that, it's just that your nation, who controls that server, who controls that section of the micronational community online, says, I don't like that. That's not a part of the rules. They're breaking the rules. They're not supporting ethical micronationalism. Let's kick them out. Let's say for ethical micronationalism. Ethical rules for ethical micronationalism. Perfect. Okay. Also, 19 people. Thank you guys so much. We've been keeping that chat up. All right. But that is a great question, Sabotat, and I think that's a solid thing. Truto said r/micronations is cancer. It's hard. 27 Kyle says freedom, no dictatorship. Yes. Oh goodness. Inquire Within said, where is this document at? So right now I'm just creating it on my computer on Google Docs. However, I will be sharing this with everybody on our Discord. If you're not a part of our Discord, become a part of our Discord. The link should be in the description to this video. And if you become a part of our Discord, I'm going to be blasting this out. I'll also probably blast it out on our YouTube as a community post. So if you check out our YouTube regularly, check out our community post. I may post an Instagram about it as well, maybe a Twitter post. But I want as many people as can, and the nations that agree to it, to sign this document. So we're going to write out these rules in more description, but all the rules that we come up with will be included on there, and we will have all these nations sign it and agree that I am going to uphold my part of ensuring that micronations that I interact with are behaving ethically according to these rules. And I will support or not support nations based on their abiding by these rules. Very cool. Yep, I did the dance. I hope somebody enjoyed it. We're about to go forward. West Legatian government said Empire of Truto agreed. One of the most toxic micronational communities. West Lataglian government is here. Hey, perfect. I'm going to throw them in as well. West Lataglia, I think is how you would say that. Because it was West Lataglian government, so I imagine it's West Lataglia. Rataglia is here. Fantastic. It's good to have you. We have so many nations who've been a part of this. Sabotage says, you said it was a cat dance at 23. I did, but I got it. I got it eventually. I'm just behind in the chat. Wendigo said, Rhodesia, don't you mean Zimbabwe? Interesting. Baliga says, 27 Kyle, to be interactive in our nation, please join our Discord. Nice. 27 Kyle says, 23 were dance. If you don't dance, you suffer. We danced. We got you. Interesting. Wendigo says facts. Francisco said it's Rhodesian Republic. Wendigo. Zimbabwe is not existent for me. Oh, interesting. 27 Kyle says what? Matt says Aeternia has grown so much in the past year. We have lost micronations but gained so many more in our community. Agreed. And that's the cool thing. Our citizenship is increasing, and a lot of the stuff that we're working on is like growing a lot, which is amazing. We have a lot of projects in the work for the Empire of Aeternia, but in addition to that, we are doing well as a micronational community. There are people who are helping each other. There are people who are creating all sorts of beautiful things every time I come into the Discord. In our general, and even in our concepts and stuff, people are starting to use our other channels in the server really actively. So I'm so proud of everybody who's there. And if you are a regular in that, thank you for helping to make it a good community. That's why we need to make these rules, is so that people can have a place to come and talk and be supported by all these good-natured people to make sure that that stays that way. Luke says, in the early months of my rule, I used to wage war constantly, but war is a fool's game. Agreed. Drew says, Nazi ideologies are even banned as a rule. Yes, agreed. Yep, in our Discord, Nazi ideologies are not supported at all. You cannot post Nazi imagery. You cannot do any of that. That's why ideologies are different than government type. Type of government is the way that your hierarchy is structured in your nation. You know, who government officials are, how they are organized, whether people can vote, things like that. That's a government type. That's different than a government's ideology and like what symbols they represent and what culture they represent. You can like somebody, you can not like somebody because their ideology and their ethics are flawed. But it's weird to not like somebody because of a specific hierarchical ideal. Okay, so Truto says, I think micro-war is okay depending on the context. Truto, I'm still keeping the non-aggression principle because I do not. I don't think micronational war is okay under any context. But I do hear your opinion. I hear we do recognize the Empire of Truto's opinion on that, and that will be held into account. Ari says, Drew, it should be. It is actively. West says, I met so many Nazi micronationalists in the past few months. It's surprising, though. It's gross. It's gross. We don't support that. Again, that's an ideological thing that we, as a nation, personally are against, and our Discord does not support. Ari says, 50-50. Drew said it already is. Francisco says, if someone is attacking your land, you have to defend it. No, you call the macronational authorities. Also, if somebody, a whole other thing. That's also not what we're talking about. We're talking about don't mess with other micronations. Okay. Everybody's jumping around about the cat. Yeah, yep. Everybody talking about cats. Okay. Hold on. Oh, it's so many. It's so many chats. I'm sorry that I'm so behind, guys. I'm trying to get through this. Okay. West Latgalia says micronational war is okay depending on the situation. I hear West Latgalia's opinion. Again, disagree. Truto says if you want to be a professional secessionist, then avoid inter-micronational warfare. If you're simulationist, warfare is fine. Agreed. Realist versus fantasy is a completely different thing here, and if you haven't watched that video, go check out that video on our channel. Realist versus fantasy micronations. This is specifically talking about realist ethical micronationalism. Drew says, Carter, I think we were aware, but thanks for the info. Luke says, Sealand and Molossia started micronations, but I believe we're living the dream out. Agreed, and I think they meant it as different things. Like, I've seen interviews from the guy from Sealand being like, yeah, no, micronation shouldn't be a thing that everybody does. Only we have the ability to be a micronation because we were in the right place at the right time. Molossia is like anybody can create a micronation, but ours is like a fairly silly, lighthearted thing. Whereas Sealand was really strict and serious, but they're like, nobody else can do what we did. We're unique, and that's why we're a micronation. You can't just make a micronation, which I disagree with. So I think we are actually fulfilling what micronationalism should be and what it's becoming. So we are the next generation, for sure. Francisco said, I don't lead a mock government. My government is a presidential autocracy. Robert said, no, I meant if someone forms a micronation in protest against a leader or a law they don't like, they should be recognized. Should they be recognized and taken seriously? If someone forms a micronation in protest against a leader or law they don't like, should they be recognized and taken seriously? Yeah, so that depends on your ideological, viewpoint. That's sort of a thing that these rules aren't really meant to touch. For me, for the Empire of Aeternia, I think that they should be recognized. I think you can recognize what they are doing. You don't have to think that it's right, and you don't have to support them. But I think it's fair enough to say, you call yourself a micronation, so we will call you a micronation. That doesn't mean we like you, though. Sabotat said, I will try my best to sign it. We are a representative democracy, so I'll have to get it passed by our 25-person government. I appreciate it, Sabotat. That means a lot. And again, I hope these are rules that are reasonable for all micronations. And again, they are self-enforced. So if there is something that you feel like is in your particular wheelhouse that, is justification for you to do whatever, that's up to you. But this is what we are sticking with. This is what we're going to do. And hopefully that can help bring some consensus to the community. Max says, I must go, but if nothing changes much, we do agree with these rules. Thank you, Max. That's wonderful. The United Empire signs. Hey, go for the United Empire. Thank you. Rhodesia signs. Hey, thank you. Perfect. We will be sending these out on the Discord. So when we do, we are so glad. We will love to have your signatures. Sabotage says, I don't know, because some people don't have electronics. That's fair. Esnia said hi. Hello, Esnia. It's good to see you. Ooh, we need to add Esnia in. Esnia is also a part of our roll call. Esnia! Hey, perfect. It's good to have Esnia here. Okay. Also, Esnia, if you agree with these rules, we're going to be sending these on the Discord for everybody to sign if their nations agree with it. Drew says, Molossia isn't exactly a micronation like Sealand. Agreed, they're different, but also Sealand has like a really strict definition of micronationalism, which I think is weird. Wendigo says, are you guys like actually Rhodesian? Balaga says, we are in the UK, so cannot go to Microcon. No, but there is the Micro Summit, I think, in the UK. Is that what it is? There's some EU-based micronational gathering as well. Ari says, rule recommendation, no ideologies that want to kill off a certain group of people. Agreed? Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes. No genocidal... well, no, because, dude, that's so, ideological stuff. Ideological stuff is going to be left to individual nations. I agree with that 100%. I want to say the Empire of Aeternia will never support any, like, genocidal or, like, ethnic-based, ethnic superiority-based ideology. We condemn that hard, and that is something that's in our rules for our Discord server. We don't want that. That's a part of like hate speech and stuff that we do not want. But the rules for ethical micronationalism, your idea, why you like or dislike a micronation, should be based on your own interpretation of their ideology and their ethics. So I feel like that's something that should be noted, and we should have some way to clarify that for micronations, and we should have some way to document that and show all of our agreement for that. I don't think that's necessarily what this list is for, but I will have to mull it over. There may be a way similar to like how somebody brought up free speech and we came into the right to fair introduction. There should be like a similar rule. Maybe we can kind of work around that to come up with like, you can't have some genocidal or like ethnic superiority based nation and get supported. Yeah, there should be something like that, but I'm trying to figure out how to word that. But that is a great question. That is a great point, Ari. We will definitely be considering that for addition to the list. If not in this list, certainly in the next list, but I want to figure out a way to add that to this list without it becoming like a too divisive an issue, I guess. Robert says, or too general an issue. Like, I don't want it to be something that people can interpret in any way, because people will take that to their own political ideologies and spectrums and change that. Robert Washington says, save up a fund for Microcon. We're trying. We're absolutely trying. Trust. Sardinian Empire says, yeah, Drew. Francisco says, Rhodesia cannot go to Microcon. It's too expensive. That's fair. It is expensive. 27 Kyle says, you're UK? I'm Ireland. Hey, link it up. That's part of what this community is about. I appreciate it. Wendigo said bomb and then car. Goodness. Robert said he's a good boy. Moondust is a good boy. Also, we almost have 20 viewers again. 19. Ooh. Killing it. Belagia says Molossia, Sealand, Arakan Empire, and Atlantium, and what used to be Hutt River all get big media. Agreed. And it's that they're all either at Microcon or they all have already had enough clout that people just support them and keep interviewing the same nations because that's all they know. They don't know that there are all these other nations out there that are trying to do these things. They just see, the ones who have been on quirky media before, and then they say, oh, I need to reach out to that person so I can get a whole bunch of views. I think that's the other thing. I think there are certain media outlets who legitimately care about micronationalism and are interested in learning about it. I think there are plenty of others, though, who don't actually care about micronationalism or what any of these micronations are interested in or trying to do. They just see that somebody posting a concept of this guy in Arizona, this guy in Nevada made his own country. Isn't that so silly? It got millions of views. Hey, I should interview that same guy and try to get millions of views because people already know them. So having yourself be known and in that sphere already prompts people to get do that again simply because they're looking for views. I don't think that's always the case, but I think that's the case in a lot of situations. Sabotage says, someone get a gif of the cat dance? If you do, I'll post it on our Twitter. I straight up will. Matt says, this is Moondust, send help SOS message. Meow, meow, cough, meow. Yeah, he's sleeping now. Let me see if I can zoom in on him. Oh gosh, sorry. Oh goodness. Okay, wait. There he is. You see him in the background? Little sleepy boy on the chair. Hello, little sleepy boy. We're all here with you. Okay. Let me jump back up. Zoom out just a little bit. And we're back. Okay, cool. So, other stuff. Moondust corrupting the stream, you know it. But he's cute, so I think people are fine with it. People of the nations have voted. It seems everybody's fine with Moondust. Francisco said dogs are dirty. Ooh. Francisco's got some opinions. Rhodesia has some opinions on dogs. Ari says I can't go to Microcon. That's what sucks. It's such a barrier to entry for so many micronations. And that's where a ton of the media coverage is. It sucks, and it's not cool. I think people should legitimately talk about micronations who are just online. They're not represented enough. Sabotage said, yes, spread the message. TNT Ninja said, I like cats and dogs. Robert says, or you can drive to Las Vegas to go. That's kind of what we're doing. We're probably going to just try to drive to Las Vegas if we can, but it's going to be hard. And it's going to be expensive. So we're trying to save money up for it to prepare, but we don't know if we'll be able to do it. And we want to make a big entrance too. When Ningo says dogs are smart and loyal while cats sit around all day. Ooh, back and forth. The mind says I'm back. Oops, didn't mean to say in caps. That's all good. We appreciate you. 27 says, wait, Beliga, you're in the UK, I'm in Ireland, so that's not far away. Yeah, hey, they're hitting it up. Beliga says, I'll give you a retweet on Twitter. Please do give us a retweet. It would help to spread the message of this stream. The Empire of Dojistan says, ew, Twitter. It's good to see the Empire of Dojistan here. Stefan said I've returned. Yes, Stefan, we missed you. Also, Stefan asked why there's a delay in the chat. Again, it's because it takes so long for me to read all the chats. Matt says, hey, AP, you should play Crusader Kings 2. It's a really fun, historically accurate game where you can play as whoever won what timeline you choose. That is very cool. I would be down. I think it'd be cool to play on stream. I would love to play a Minecraft stream as well. People have been asking for it, and I'm down for it. We just got to get Tiffany on board. We got to get our studies done after finals, after this coming week. We should be good to do that. Real quick, though, I will say... Stefan, it is specifically that it takes so long for me to read all these comments. Sorry about that. Matt, as far as squishies, I'm going to take pictures today, and those will be online. If you guys want to purchase a squishy from the Empire of Aeternia, we have Aeternia squishies. They're cute. They're in this shape. I actually have a stamp now, so this will come back better, but this is the first little, test version, and it's cute. It's a squishy, it's a stress ball. It doesn't, the stuff doesn't wear out. I know this is a little bit of an ad, but Matt straight up said yesterday, I'll buy one if you throw it up on the site. So I'm going to let him know we are about to have one up on the site for you to purchase. West Lataglian government says, welcome back. Hey, agreed. Oh, every time somebody hits a comment, it throws the thing. Okay. Stefan says, any idea why there's a delay? Balagia says, Twitter is the most active micronational community, so I will retreat there. That's fair enough. Sabotat says, it's not delayed, he just can't read it fast enough. Accurate. 27 Kyle says, it's a toxic community. I have seen some Twitter stuff be toxic. I don't know. It's interesting. Same thing with Reddit. It is rough. Dagestan said, yeah. Government said, which you're at, we're on Twitter also. Let me write down that the Empire of Dagestan is on here. Our Twitter is, I think, at Aeternian Empire. Let me see what our Twitter is. Our Twitter is at Aeternian Empire. Yep, there we are. Look at our cute little Twitter. We only have 164 followers. We're not that big at all. It was a fraction of our stuff. But yeah, we have 2 retweets, 3 likes on this tweet. Thank you guys. If you guys could help get that up, we could straight up spread the word to other micronations around the world. But let me hit up Empire of Dagestan. Representing Dagestan. I believe that's how you spell it. Is that correct? Dagestan? Yep, it sure is. Perfect. Sabotat says, Beliga, what is your at? We're on Twitter also. Matt says, I get you're talking about how things should be fair and etc. But AP, do you remember that one Wolf Boy guy who spam pinged the server? Everyone thought of him as new and they welcomed him. Agreed. No, that's exactly what all of this is for. Is that people are genuine in our server. People are very kind and very thoughtful in our micronational community. And so we want to be able to welcome people in, but people also need to know the rules. That's why we have the newcomers section where it lists the rules that we have, which are very few, primarily like no spamming, no Nazi ideology, stuff like that. No Nazi imagery, no, white supremacy stuff, anything like that. But in addition to all that, we want to have these rules that say this is how you behave as an ethical micronationalist, so that when newcomers come in, that everybody can be friendly and supportive of them, and if they start being crazy and doing stuff that's inappropriate, we can kick them, citing these rules and saying that we have all agreed as a community. So many nations have signed this, saying that this is the standard that we would like to see in the community, and if your nation is not going to abide by these standards, we do not want you here. Not that you can't exist. You certainly can be a micronation of whatever type you want and do whatever you want, but we have standards for our community and for legitimately trying to build nations. The people who are here take this seriously. The people who are here care about being here and want to get help and want to help others who are serious. So if you're not going to be serious, this isn't the right place for you. Ruskamistan's official channel says, wait for the Republic of Ruskamistan. Add me to the list. Ooh, I will. Thank you. We have so many. Republic of Rus... Oh, gosh. ROSCAMIS. AMISTAN. I think it's like that. Ruskamistan. Yep. Perfect. Matt says... and then he just spam pinged. Agreed. And that's why we're trying to create these rules, as to limit that. Also, 18 viewers, almost 20. Ari says, wait, does AP read the context? I imagine the comments. Yeah, that's what I'm actively reading. That's why it takes so long. Drew says, uh-oh. Okay, hold up. We got to switch over to our other camera because our video camera just goofed. Let me jump over to our cam setup, change my webcam, and we will jump back. That is why I set up this way. That was the exact concept behind doing this. Was so that in the case that my webcam, it's actually my camera, my Canon camera, if it died, that we would still have a webcam hooked up and ready to go. So, trying to get that webcam up right now. If you guys can give me just 1 second on it, it should be up and ready. Ooh-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Dealing with a little bit of an issue here, but give me just one moment. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to keep reading some comments just for a second. Maybe I can jump back onto the online screen and that'll help a little bit. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Live screen. There we go. Window capture. Let's set that up. Gathering of Nations. Yep. Oh, goodness. Did we straight up exit out of... Nope, there it is. Okay. Window capture. Oh, goodness. There we go. Perfect. We're back. Let me grab the camera, set it up, and we should be good. Logitech HD webcam. Oh goodness, it's just that my computer's running so strong trying to do all this stuff. Please know there's a lot happening. There we go. Okay, perfect. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate the wait. Okay, let's get back into these comments. Let's see what everybody's doing. Let's get back to our list. So 27 Kyle says, ooh, you can put the Doja stand on the signature. Thank you very much. We're going to send it out for everybody. West Lataglia government says we cannot sign as we are unfortunately currently in a micronational conflict, which is happening IRL already. Good luck. We would love to have you sign one day. Okay, so we have, let me see, who else? Who else is joining in? Republic of Olav. Hey, perfect. We have the Republic of Olav also here. Republic of Olav in the chat. Thank you for being here. We have like over 20 nations who have been actively representing themselves. Okay, Drew says I respectfully succeeded with that. Ooh, Drew said our niece would love that squishy. I'll try to buy it. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will throw it up on the thing. The Mind says, I'm buying squishy. Yeah, hey, everybody's buying a squishy. I appreciate y'all. If you buy a squishy, it helps us out a ton. They're on our Etsy. We're going to be putting them up soon. Again, not right now, but if you check back like this afternoon, they should be on there. Once the stream is over, I'm going to take pictures of them, and I am going to put them on there. Robert says, I don't know, you can't comment until 5 or 7 seconds expired. Would drastically cut the delay. Agreed. Okay. Every micronation say hi. I'm gonna try and scroll down through some of the comments real quick so I can get to the bottom. Second Sardinian Empire says, please add me in my boss nation. We did. We add Sardinia. Francisco says, does Aeternia have its own post office and post stamps? We do not, simply because they wouldn't be effective, right? We use the United States Post Office. That's how we send things. We actually have a P.O. box if you guys want to send us anything. Now, our P.O. box is very small, so don't send us any large packages, but we do have Empire of Aeternia. There we go. There is our website right here. And if you go down to the bottom of our website, P.O. Box 923, right there, 5660 P.O. Box 923, Madison, Alabama. That is our P.O. Box. If you guys want to send us things, you can send us them there. You can also add us at eternianempire@gmail.com. If you let me know what you're sending, I can kind of look out for it, especially if you send us something that has a tracking number. We can track it and we can be ready to go pick it up at the post office when it arrives. But that's a great way to reach out and to like trade between nations. So we've started doing that with a couple nations actually, and I'm excited to show off some of the things we've gotten so far. I just haven't had time to make an edited video about them. But that is the way to go if you want to send us things. But Francisco, no, unfortunately, we don't have any. If they were effective, if we could actually like team up with the U.S. Post Office somehow to make our stamps valuable and like worthwhile, then yeah, we would absolutely do that. But as of right now, we don't. West Lataglia is a splinter state of a former micronation which has 2 successors. Interesting. Onyx says, guys, when I become a citizen, I want to do a news thing. Please do. We would love that. Yes. We had a news thing a while back from one of our citizens that was really cool and people really liked it. It was essentially like an update on the Empire of Aeternia and telling people what was happening in the Empire of Aeternia and kind of in our micronational sphere. So having another news channel would be great. I think it would help a lot. Ruskimistan said it's delayed. Sorry about that. Wes Lataglia says, no, not really. They're describing their whole thing. TJ said, I will be leaving. I was happy to represent you for the past 2 hours, and I will try my hardest to get this passed through my government. Thank you, TJ. Thank you to Sabotat. That means a lot. I appreciate you all supporting. Robert says, wow, why can't some news sources be here? Agreed. There's so many micronations here. If we had some news sources, we would be popping off. And we're gonna try to get representation for more micronations as much as possible. Robert says, wow, why can't Stefan says, do you think Americans, Canadians, Western Europeans, Australians are equal with Eastern Europeans, Asians, Africans when it comes to micronational potential? Yes, absolutely. I think everybody is equal when it comes to micronational potential because there are so many different circumstances under which micronations arise. If you can get an online presence and you can do really well there, you're probably going to be successful. If you can get your local community to support your nation, you're probably going to be successful. It has nothing to do with your location. It has everything to do with how you are using that location and the resources you have to your advantage. And that's a whole different video. If you want to talk about economics, if you want to talk about, how to gain citizens, we have videos on all of that. So I recommend you go back and check those out if you're curious there. Drew says, hopefully finally reach the 1K mark. We have, yeah, absolutely. We have already reached our 1K mark for the Empire of Aeternia. We're actually over 1,500 now, so I need to update that up there. But we need to reach that 4K watch time hours, which we're going to be getting close to thanks to all the people watching this stream. The Mind says, soon as I see them buying up that squishy. Thank you very much. I will at everybody in the Discord if you're in the Discord, so that I can let everybody know. The Minds, if you are in our Discord, you will be there to know as well. If you actually at me, if anybody messages me on Discord, private message me on Discord if you want the squishy, and I will let you know personally as soon as they are up. Robert says, please enable slow mode. Oh, okay. I'll try, but now I'm basically at the bottom of the comments, and there's only 13 people here, so I don't know how many active comments we're going to get. TJ says, before I leave, I have a question. How many hours did the lo-fi music get in watch time? I think I had it on for about 6 hours. Let me check. That's a great question. Great question. We're about to get a great answer for that. It's a good amount. Like, it's like 8 or 10 watch time hours or something like that. Like, it's a solid amount of watch time. Let me go into YouTube Studio. Let me jump into Creator Studio. Let me get out of some of these tabs so that maybe it speeds us up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Hurry up, YouTube. TJ's gotta go. We need this. Hurry. Okay. I'm going to go into content. Waiting for our channel dashboard to slowly pull up. You guys love how speedy my internet is, right? That's your favorite part of the streams. I'm certain. Okay, oh no, okay, Lo-Fi for Micronations was right there. Let me go back. All right. And here we are. Okay, got it for you. Analytics. Let's look at how many. It has 171 views, which is nice because it was taking a long time for it to get views. So I appreciate you guys. Also, if you want to have it on in the background, 10.8. So if you had it on for 6 hours, you're over half of the views on that thing. 10.8. Let's see if we can't keep it going. I bet that's you right there. Hold up. So there are some pretty big jumps. It went from, hold up. It went from 5.1 to 7 to 8. So that was probably you right there. And then there's also this big jump from 8 to 10. So that might have been you as well. You're probably carrying this thing, honestly. It's got 10 watch time hours. That helps us a lot. It got 2 subscribers. So thank you for helping to make this something that's cool. And that people appreciate. If you guys want to help us out and support our watch time when we're not actively streaming, if you put this on in the background while you're doing homework or whatever, it helps us out a lot. Actively helps us out a lot. We have 7 viewers in the last 48 hours. Let's see if we can't get that up a little bit. Help get these watch time hours on it. If you just put that on the background, put it in your headphones when you're walking around or whatever, it helps a lot. And it's just chill lo-fi. Robert Washington said Aeternia News Network. Yeah. Okay, so, oh goodness. Ooh, Suddenine Empire says, can you please say hello to Tiffany for me? I sure will. I will hit it up. Thank you very much, and I will make sure she knows. Manu said, homegrown gamer kid, I'm interested in the news idea. Agreed. Me too, Manu. I like the, I don't know, I don't know, Reason TV or something. This said, make a news channel. Yes. Robert says, self-determination for macros and micros. Free Rahovia, Catalonia, Ossetia, Taiwan, Tibet, Eternia, Molossia, Texas, California, at Stephen George. Very cool. Drew says, so will you, so we don't, so we will hopefully be around 2/10 of the way done to the land purchase. Oh, absolutely. We're getting like close. Uh, Drew said, your internet is a disabled turtle. I agree with that. You ever see the videos of turtles running like full sprint though? They're not that slow. The Mind says, I gotta go. I'll be back later. See you all later. See you, the Minds. It was good to have you. Stephen George says, some people, especially older folk over here, think that micronationalism is some crazy thing. Every time I get asked about it, I say, it's a fun hobby. What about you? So that's an interesting question, and I feel like that's something that's important for us to discuss as micronationalists. I'll give my opinion and what I do, and then we can go larger from there. But for me, I used to try to just, explain what it was. Like, I would be like, oh, it's a micronation. It's like a small country. We're doing it. It's fun. It's kind of, this little thing that I've been doing. And I used to kind of tiptoe around it. Recently, when I've been talking to people about it, I actually just started more heavily advertising in our local community because I'm looking for somebody to help me with blacksmithing and increasing our output of our forge. I want to start getting more local citizens to come and regularly meet here and for us to make videos together and stuff like that. So that being the case, I have just started telling people we're a country. We're a country. We are a micronation. If you don't know what that is, we're a country. We are a country. We're trying to be created. We're an independent country in the state of Alabama. That's how I describe us. We're a country or a micronation in the state of Alabama. And I try not to downplay it because that's the thing that I think is interesting. People, when they think about, when you say micronation, when you say small country, people are going to initially think either one, it's really silly, or they're going to be, if they don't know anything about it at all, or they're going to take it as some really extreme thing, or, they just may not be that curious and be like, okay, whatever. But in the two larger reactions there, if they think it's silly and you say it's silly, then they're not going to take it very seriously, and then you can't expect people to necessarily want to join on board. Because if they're looking for something serious and you say it's silly, then they may not want to be on board. But if you say it's serious and they want something silly, again, it's about picking what is accurate to what you are doing. If you say, oh, we're just kind of a group of friends who are hanging out and doing whatever, and it's we don't take it really seriously, it's just a fun hobby. If that is truly how you feel about it, then please do tell people that, because that determines what type of people are going to be interested in joining you. Some people want to join micronations that are fun social clubs, that are small little group gatherings for you to be able to make decisions and to be able to, do like a mock government sort of thing. There are other micronations, though, like the Empire of Aeternia, and the direction that we have started to go has been increasingly serious. So we have always had this idea of, I'm trying to do this for my family. I'm trying to do this to make money and to support the people in my life that I care about, and to be able to extend that to other people in our community, the people who become my family and become a part of Aeternia through that process. So that's ultimately the larger concept, is as we've gotten more and more serious, I feel a duty to my countrymen, to my people, and to that symbol, the arrow of progress, to say, no, we are serious. We are trying to do something serious. We are trying to make money. We are trying to push our name out there as a legitimate country. And that's kind of the difference. What people expect from you and what they'll expect that they need to do when they are a part of your country is determined by how you describe what your country is. So if you say it's a fun hobby, then people are going to take it as a fun hobby. They're going to treat their citizenship as a fun hobby, something not too serious, something they don't need to put a lot of pressure on, which is great. Most people want that. If you try to get citizens for a micronation and you say, okay, here's your job, and I expect all these things on my desk by next Tuesday, and we're going to expect your taxes due on the 1st, people will probably not be too enthusiastic about joining you, because most people don't know what micronationalism is. They're trying to get their toes wet. They're trying to, learn a little bit about the sphere, and they just want to have fun. Most people just want to have fun. So if that is the case, and if that's what you're doing, just do that. And it will come across as effective, genuine, and, a legitimate way to gain citizens. For the Empire of Aeternia, we've been very serious, so a lot of it is becoming, no, we have to explain this in a really descript way. We need people to understand what their duties are going to be as citizens, because we expect those people to be working this, regularly. We expect to have active participation by our citizens, and there are values that our citizens get from that. There are perks to being an Aeternian citizen. It is something that has a high value, and therefore is an honor to get. Our citizenship comes not only with Discord perks, but also, we send people sometimes like nice thank you letters. We try to regularly collaborate with our citizens, so if they have something like a YouTube channel that they want supported and they want shown off, we will absolutely advertise that for them. As well, there are opportunities for jobs where we may be able to pay somebody a small bit part-time, or potentially even trade with people and give them some nice valuable resources to help them out. We do a lot of sharing in the Empire of Aeternia, so there's a lot that we can give and provide to our citizens that other people don't have access to, and that is why we have to go about our approach so differently. But to each his own. I'm curious as to how your explanation will go for the people that you care about and the people that you're trying to explain micronationalism to. But that's great. I'm really proud of you, and I think it'll do well for you. Okay. Okay. Young Sandwich says, howdy. Hey, Young Sandwich, it's good to see you. I appreciate you joining the live stream. I got your thing. I want to tell you, thank you for becoming a patron. That's huge for us. That means a lot. You have literally no idea how much that means. That's incredible. You're helping our GDP right now. Young Sandwich just became a $20 a month sub to our Patreon. So thank you so much, Young Sandwich. Also, I wanted to tell you I am excited to continue working and to start doing blacksmithing with you. Young Sandwich is somebody who is going to be potentially helping us with our arc furnace, somebody who's fairly local to us, and I'm excited to get that started. I want to reach out to you. I want to start planning stuff. I know you said in your citizenship application that you may be available for videos and doing things like that for the channel. If you would ever love to do like an interview, we could do a live stream together. I would love to talk to you, learn a bit more about who you are, and ultimately invite you to the Empire, get you your citizenship license, which will allow you access to the Empire, and to have you in person help us with moving forward with our community. Also, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of fun stuff here locally, so we want to invite you to events and stuff that we'll be hosting. TJ says, and you deserve every minute. Thanks for supporting our nation for such a long time, and I've been watching you for a while, and I'm happy I started talking in your chats. I'll see you next time. It's great to see you, TJ. I will see you soon. Thank you for the support. You deserve every bit of our support. Francisco says, Robert, Catalonia is Spanish. It will stay forever Spanish. Respectable. Robert says, we also know Spanish. Interesting. A homegrown gamer kid said the Aeternian Times. I love it. That's cool, Onyx. Manu says the advantage of the stream not having background music is that I put on another tab. Agreed. You can put on background music in the background. That's perfect. Some mad dude says hi. Hello, some mad dude. Francisco said referendum was illegal. Some mad dude said what's up. Drew said which is why I said disabled. Oh, goodness. I'm missing a lot of the comments. Ovlov said, what do you think about film and micronationalism? That's a great question. We're actively trying to get people to make films for micronations. Drew, actually. Drew is our third aristocrat, right behind Matt. And Drew is actively trying to make a film for the Empire of Aeternia. We're trying to get more cultural stuff developed and defined for us. So having film is critical to that. It's an expression of it's a medium of expression. It's an artistic medium, and I can't wait to see what Aeternian film looks like. I'm curious to see what Olovian film looks like as well. Robert says, and look at the people wanted to go, they should have been allowed to. They're talking about political stuff in Spain. This is interesting. Okay, but we're gonna skip forward to that. Okay. Oh goodness, this is so weird. Robert, it's all good. The Papal Empire said hi. Hey, the Papal Empire. Robert says I can be nice. Papal Empire says hi. It's good to see everybody. Oh, now they are spamming though. Okay. Robert Washington said Eternian Studios. Very cool. TJ said KS Esta Pasanda. Ooh. I gotta look up what this means now because I don't speak Spanish. I know that says what is something. I don't know what pasando is. Robert says I know a doc on the nation. Ooh, that's cool. Like a documentary or like a document. I'm very curious. We're gonna actually throw this back up so that I can go over to our website again. Actually, I'm gonna go back to our list. So far we have 3 basic rules for ethical micronationalism that I think are pretty, universally respected. I think there's something that's going to be easy for everybody to sign. So far, non-aggression principle. Don't be aggressive to other nations. Don't, go out of your way to cause trouble for people. No judgment based solely on government type. Don't just judge people because they're of a particular government type that you don't like. That's different than ideology. You can judge somebody for their ideology, the way that they're going about, creating a culture and the symbols that they support and things like that. There's plenty of ideologies that Aeternia doesn't support, but that's different than government type. Right to fair introduction. Everybody should get at least one open pitch to say what their nation is about and what they want. But after that, who they are and how they choose to represent themselves should be able to be judged. But they should be allowed that initial introduction. The Papal Empire, it's good to see you. If you want to support these as well, I can put your name up there. We have a lot of nations who have already said that they're interested in supporting and who have joined in on our roll call. Robert Washington says Eternian Studios. Baliga says hi. Francisco says, what's your opinion on the Taliban? The Taliban has a first off, it'd be really cool if we did have a documentary on the Micronation. I just got what Robert's thing was. I appreciate it. I would love that. Also, opinion on the Taliban. I don't know. I would say it's difficult because we didn't support the Taliban's takeover. There was a lot of turmoil in Afghanistan. There was a lot of things that were, just fighting for years and decades and decades, centuries, to take it all the way back to the beginning. But the ultimate issue is the human rights violations that the Taliban has had. And the Taliban taking over and now controlling Afghanistan, and the U.S. pulling out of there, I don't think the U.S. was ever going to do anything that was meaningful enough to keep peace and to keep order in Afghanistan. I don't think they were there necessarily for all the right reasons, but I will say that I'm not sure that people are better off with the Taliban. I think it's trading one unstable situation for another unstable situation. The only difference is I think the U.S. tried to keep up a guise of protecting human rights, even though there was a very limited amount that they could actually do to protect it on a large scale, whereas the Taliban are specifically going to implement laws which do not support traditional human rights. So I can't say that I'm super supportive of the Taliban. I'm concerned about the situation, to be quite honest. I can't say that I'm supportive of the Taliban at all, actually. But, I think it's a concerning topic. Homegrown Gamer Kid said 3 basic rules. Yes. Robert said the Emperor of Alabama. Meet AP the first. I would love that. That means a lot. I really want to do that. I would love to have a documentary based around that. That's one of the things that's cool to me about potentially having Young Sandwich here. Um, if he becomes a larger part of our local community here, I would love to be able to have us go around and do things and talk to people and film around the area and make a little mini documentary. That'd be really cool. I, in fact, have friends who are cinematographers who do those things um, more professionally, as a side job. But if I were to contact those people and say, hey, I'll pay you, to come and film for us to make a little documentary, I would really, really want there to be some, sort of like big plan in place for us to do something over the top, crazy, something fun for us to be able to hype up and to have as a part of the documentary. A big gathering of people here, or maybe going recruiting citizens, whatever it may be. Maybe doing like one of the biggest metal melts we've ever done, upgrading some of our stuff, interviewing people. I would love to have it as a big thing. Potentially talking to some people in the government here in Alabama. That would all be really cool. Homegrown Gamer Kid said, I don't know. Robert says the full documentary on YouTube. I would love to see it. Homegrown Gamer Kid says, you mean governor? Robert says, line one. No, Onyx, I think he was making a joke saying that I'm the Emperor of Alabama or whatever. He was saying that should be the name of a documentary based on the Empire of Aeternia and me as its leader. And I definitely think that's cool. I would love to see it. Robert says, line 1, some sort of background music. Line 1, part 2. Have you heard of Aeternia, a small nation in Alabama known as a micronation led by AP? Very cool. Francisco said, then what do you think about Northern Alliance, anti-Taliban army? Oh, that's a great question. An anti-Taliban army. So I don't know much about it. I'm completely ignorant of that, in fact. I would have to look up who the constituent members are. Robert Washington, maybe you can tell me more about it. Line 2, part 1, AP. Hey, I'm AP of Aeternia, my small micronation in Alabama. We have 2 territories, a northern and southern one, and I've been around since 2016. I love it. Dude, you're writing the whole documentary right now. Please write us a documentary. Please film can you edit like a documentary for us and send it? You can take footage that we have on the channel. You can literally go to like a YouTube to MP4 converter. There are these things online. I'm not sure if you know about them. YouTube to MP4. If you type in YouTube to MP4, you can straight up grab YouTube videos and download them. You can send the link, convert YouTube videos to MP4. You can do those and download the actual content from some of our YouTube videos. Or if you want me to send you anything, let me know and I could. If you would edit a legitimate documentary for us about the Empire of Aeternia, I would be floored. I would love to do that. That means a lot. Second Sardinian Empire says, can you please add me in my boss nation right now? So we did. We added, you were one of the first ones that we added, Sardinia. Right. Oh, I called you Sardinia. It's Sardinia. My apologies. Sardinia, you are the first one on our roll call. You are right there. Sardinia, you are well represented. Please know that. And that's insane. Also, thank you guys so much still for like 10 viewers right now. Is very cool that we've been able to drum up this sort of support for our stream. But we've created this micronational gathering, and it was cool. We had 1 Sardinia, 2 United Empire, 3 Grand Duchy of South Florida, 4 Republic of Moroccan, 5 Kingdom of Aslaria, 6 the Onyx Union, 7 Theos Nomos, 8 Union of Soviet Communist Republics, 9 Monarchy of Zelexia and New America, 10 Truto, 11 Republic of Beliga, 12 Saudustistan, 13 Sabatat, 14 Rhodesia, 15 West Lataglia, 16 Aeternia, 17 Empire of Dagestan, 18 Republic of Ruskamistan, 19 Republic of Olav, and 20 the Empire of Aeternia. We had 20 nations. 20 nations came together to help to create this list. That is a beautiful thing to happen in the micronational community, and it's rare. It's so rare that stuff like that happens, and it's hard to be able to gather that kind of group. But we've done it. We did it, and we made a milestone for the micronational community. I think even if you are the most pessimistic micronationalist and you think, oh, there's no way that micronations can ever get recognized in the world, there's no way that we can ever do all the things that we're trying to do, well, have you seen some of the ways we've been able to gather? When micronationalists come together, when they put their money together, when they put their time together, when they put their effort together, when they teach each other, when they share, when they have these communities that they build together, we do cool stuff. We do things that break ground in our community all the time. And it's a point that shows that if we are doing that internally just for who we are to make noise, imagine what we are doing externally. Imagine every time a micronation gets just a little bit more news coverage. Imagine every time, a group, the word micronation or micronational gets Googled one more time by somebody who didn't know about it beforehand. That's progress. And once we are known worldwide, once micronational becomes a household name, all we have to do is start pushing for our rights, start pushing for our ability to grow properly, to grow within the laws and the structures that have already been put in place for us to expand businesses and to be entrepreneurial and to pursue our own endeavors. But we can achieve this. We can be recognized because we can unite. We can show our support for this community the larger that it gets. And I think people will be surprised when all of a sudden you have hundreds or thousands of people standing up together and saying, we all recognize these countries that nobody else will recognize, or these countries that people are laughing at or whatever. We all recognize them. It's not a laughing matter anymore. We all see these as countries on the map. And that is something that's going to change the world, I think. Matt said, I have returned. Fantastic. Drew says, will there also be members that can apply as a worker of the gathering? So no, right? Because this isn't a micronational organization. This is specifically like an event that the Empire of Aeternia is hosting as a way to bring together these nations. So it's not like it's an alliance. It's not like it's a micronational organization. This specifically is like Microcon, right? Where everybody's just coming together online to represent their nations and to talk about what is important in micronationalism. That's the idea here. That's what I want to get to. Robert said, Drew said, depending on how much the squishy costs, I'll also be getting the ingot. Very cool. Let me see. That means a lot. So again, the squishy is probably going to be like $4 for a pack of 2. So $4 for that, plus it's like $4 something in shipping. So like $8 total probably for 2 of these. So if you wanted to buy like one pack, you could buy that and the ingot, and it should... The ingot is also $4, so it'd be $8 plus $4 shipping. You'd be looking at like $12, and that would be everything. $16. $16 for the shipping of both things. $8 for that, $8 for the actual items. So it would be 2 squishies. Because we have to send packages. That's the thing that sucks. If I could send these by the mail, the shipping would be so much cheaper. But it'd be basically $16 for everything, tax included, shipping included in that figure. Drew said $600. 600. Where are you getting the 600 number, Drew? I'm very curious. Robert says it's on a website. So, 600 citizens. Wait, hold up. What? We are absolute monarchy. I am the emperor. Consider myself a realist and a staunch micronationalist. I live with my girlfriend Tiffany in Madison, and here we are in Aeternia. I have 600 citizens. 600 citizens. We have like 12 something citizens right now. If you're looking at the micro wiki, we need to change it because we do not have 600 citizens. I think that's from when we used to consider our sub count as our citizens, which we did for a time, but that's no longer the policy of Aeternia. But I do appreciate it, Robert. Drew says, depending on how much the squishy costs, I'll get the ingot. Hey, there we go. And Matt says, I want to buy 2 squishies. Well, they come in packs of 2, so that'd be perfect. You would get 2 squishies. Matt says, and a sticker pack, maybe the aluminum ingot. Hey, very cool. Republic of Olav says, I need to call more micronations. Well, if you join our Discord server, again, link in the description, you will be able to do that, and we can get you hooked up with a whole bunch of micronations. If you DM me, I can introduce you to some cool micronations. Join our Discord. It's a place where you can share and collaborate. It's really cool. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, real quick. So we have our rules for micronations. I think that was a big thing. Tiffany's here with Moondust, giving little pets to him. Earlier I danced with Moondust because we went over 20, we hit 23 viewers at one time. So it was really cool. Economics for micronations. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I don't know that I'm going to get super into that for this video, but I think it's better to save for another time. But essentially, I just wanted to say a lot of the time micronations have problems with that. That's like the big thing that everybody's always either complaining about or is having difficulty with. So I think a lot of that has to do with clout. A lot of it has to do with, how much you can advertise, how much you can get yourself out there. But start with one thing that is based on the resources you have available to you. And that's something that you really want to make unique and you really want to make special to you. Don't copy other nations. Don't try and do what other people are doing to make money, because it's not going to come off as genuine and it's not going to work as well for you. But if you're doing what you can do and what's important to your local community especially, it will be a lot more successful. I wanted to do a micronation review. I said I was going to do a micronation review. If anybody has any things that they want to be talked about or brought up as far as their individual micronations, please let me know and we will discuss them. But if not, we will start to wind it down in a minute. But yeah, what do you mean you need to call more micronations? Are you able to physically ring them up and call them? Also, if anybody has any YouTube channels or anything that are non-micronation related, or even if they are micronation related, I guess, if anybody wants to do interviews, or if anybody ever wants to do a thing where I come on their show or their podcast or whatever, let me know. I've been looking into people on YouTube who have similar sub counts to us and stuff, and trying to reach out to them to see if we can do collaborations, because there are a ton of political podcasts and stuff that I've seen on YouTube where they're meeting with local representatives and things like that, and it would be really, really cool. Ooh, hold up. Matt said, bro, the UN is live and they got 8 viewers. We beat the UN. We got 11 viewers right now. We had 23 viewers earlier. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. People in the world are very jaded with politics. They're not happy with what's going on right now. And it's so cool to see that the micronational community is legitimately invested in how much people are supporting and putting behind it. Let's look at that. Hold up, I'm about to clap on these boys. We're gonna get it. The UN can't recognize us, but they can't get more than 8 viewers on their live stream either. We're about to roast these boys. Let's see. I'm gonna click on it and it's gonna jump to 186 viewers and I'm gonna cry. But we'll check it out. Let's see if I can. This will be great content. This will be great propaganda for micronations. Hold up. What is it? UN live. Let's see. Yep, they got 5 watching. Hold up. The United Nations, the literal United Nations, has 9 viewers watching. We're still beating them. I am actively watching as a part of it, and we're still beating them. We have 12 viewers right now. Million Hawk, hello, it's good to see you. We're beating.
Preparing an 8-course meal for 4 guests.
Oh gosh. Okay. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, look at how cool this is. Okay, 10 watching. we're still beating the literal UN. We're beating the literal UN in how many viewers we have. They have 10 people watching their live stream. We have 11 people watching our live stream, actively beating the UN. Earlier we had 23 viewers on our live stream. They don't have anything. They have 2.11 million subscribers to the United Nations, and yet they have 10 viewers. We can do better than them. The micronational community is strong. We got this. Me and Hawk said hi. Matt said AP speaking facts. Republic of Olaf says 11 views watching the UN. We're still tied. Drew said, yo, we're on top of the UN. Olaf says 9 views. Yeah, we're just killing it. We're just killing the game. As of right now, I see 10 views. Yep, 9 people watching the UN thing. How is micronations are just straight up bigger than the UN in this particular thing. And that's why I feel like it sucks that micronations do not get enough credit being online. People who review the micronational community, people who film and go to Microcon and show off, and all the nations that get clout from that do not represent the full micronational community. You guys are here. You guys are in the live stream. You guys are showing up and representing and beating the United Nations. That is something impressive. Matt says, simply just to do good. Aeternia just doing better. LOL, we had 20 plus and they had 9 when they did the General Assembly. That's what I'm saying. People are very, very jaded with politics right now. People are not happy with what's going on in the world. And they would rather pay attention to nations that this United Nations says doesn't even exist. But yet we can gather better than they can. We can unite better than they can. We can represent ourselves in an online space better than they can. And we have legitimate active following. We have a higher percentage by exponential amounts. They have 2.11 million subscribers. We have 1.5 thousand subscribers, and we have 12 viewers to their 9 viewers. That's a super small fraction of their viewing population, and also a small fraction of ours, but still a much bigger fraction than theirs. When you look at the size of the channels, that is a big, big difference in how much people actually support what they're doing. Drew said the UN has been live since August 23rd. Oh, goodness. What in the name of watch time hours? Exactly. Million Hawk says, hey, AP, do you have any tips for micronational wars? I don't really understand the concept. We have 13 to their 9 right now, memeing on them. I want to take a picture of this, because that's just straight up funny. I'll go back later and screen cap this. That's great. We're actually recording, so I don't need to take a picture. But Million Hawk, what about micronational wars? Well, micronational wars, to me, are a bit silly. That's why we wrote in our rules, a non-aggression sort of thing, because we really don't want people trying to create these micronational wars. Essentially, what micronational wars are people trying to annoy each other in a micronational space online. Most micronational wars aren't things that are held in person. If they are, they're like little skirmishes and battles between people using like airsoft or Nerf guns or whatever, and they're ultimately like war games. If a nation says they're declaring a war on another nation, it's silly, and I don't think it's something that's legitimately used by nations that are actively trying to be recognized. I will say that. Again, 11 viewers to the United Nations 9. This is hilarious. Matt says the poor editing team at the UN seeing the viewer count and looking for Aeternia. Yeah, they're like, taking notes and shit. They're like, they have like translators in their ears being like, Aeternia passed us. How did this happen? And they're like scribbling down, they have people like at a stock ticker, like actively trying, oh shit, wait, did they jump past us? 12 and 12. Don't let them pass us. Don't do it. Don't let them pass us. It's 12 and 12 right now. We're tied up. They're trying to get all their people back. They're calling people in every single country. They got Biden watching this right now just to try and get the watch time hours up. They got Angela Merkel actively watching this right now to try and get the watch time hours up. They're calling up everybody. They're actively creating like a military offensive to try and shut our YouTube channel down. Oh goodness. 10 viewers right now to their 12. We're losing. Oh goodness. They're coming back. The established powers won't let us stay strong. Oh goodness. Robert Washington says, okay, I'm saving the posts in GDOC. Oh, what is that? Million Hawk says, AP, does Eternia recognize any other countries? We recognize anybody who says they have a micronation. That doesn't necessarily mean we're allied or supportive of all of them, but we recognize them as countries. If you say you're a country, then we support it. Robert says, for later use. Drew says, they're calling the entire department. Exactly. 11 to 12. Hold up. We're coming back. We're coming back a little bit. Drew says, the IT department is going. Robert says for an actual film. Oh, hey, thank you very much. I would love that. Please do. For a Google Doc. Yeah, please do. I would love to see you make a film. Manu says half of the UN viewers right now are just micronationalists. I think that's legitimate. I think people from this stream are watching the thing. And that's what's boosting it up right now. But yeah, 11 to 12. Ooh, we beat them for a minute, though. We had hard beat them for a minute. That's funny. I like that. Thank you guys for making us better than the United Nations live stream. I appreciate that. Million Hawk says, does Eternia recognize any macronations? Yeah, we recognize all macronations. You know, we recognize... Bless you. We recognize like Taiwan and stuff, even though China doesn't. Anybody who's saying they're a nation trying to do it, we recognize them. We recognize their right to exist. Drew says half of their viewers are us, guys. Republic of Oslov says they have 8 views. Hey, I appreciate it. Let me see if I can update my thing. Oh yeah, 10. Yeah, we're just beating them. We're just actively 8. Yeah, we're just beating them. That's great. That's hilarious. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for helping us beat the UN. I guess we're gonna wrap up the stream with that because we whooped them. We got them. They can say all they want. 2.11 million subscribers. How did our micronational gathering destroy the United Nations gathering? That's a meme. Okay. I'm gonna have to get off now so I can continue to do work for our great empire and continue progress through the era of progress. But I will see you all very soon. I have to study for finals. Tiff has to study for finals. We got a lot of crazy stuff to do. Once I get off the stream, I'm going to be putting these squishies online so that you can buy these things. Also, the ingots are online. Also, the notes are online. You guys got all of that. I'm going to jump real quick into our Etsy to show that off, and then I will be saying goodbye to everyone. I will also get this document out pretty quickly, but let me jump into the Imperial Market. Boom, there we go. $5 for a 5-pack of Imperial Notes, $4 for a half-ounce Eternian aluminum ingot, $5 for a Prestige System license, $15 for a Unity medal, $3 for a sticker pack. Also, we will never be below a half-ounce in the aluminum ingots, but it may be larger. So if you purchase an aluminum ingot and it says half-ounce ingot and you get a 1-ounce ingot, you just may get that because our pours aren't exact. But we can try and make it nice and clean for you. And make it pretty. So if you guys are interested, please do help us by purchasing things through our Etsy, through our Imperial Market, which can be found on our website. There's links to it, and it's etsy.com/shop/the Imperial Market. Again, thank you guys so much. Still whooping them. Even at the end of the live stream, 10 to 9, they ain't got shit on us. Matt says, goodbye. Can't wait for the squishies. Homegrown Gamer Kid said, AP, I can write the first article on the news. Yes, please. I would love that. Film it for us though. Like or do that as the first article for the news. Eternia beats United Nations live stream. That's great. I would love that. Drew says, go ahead and send it to him. Yes, please. If you can actually like do a little animation or like record your voice and like put it above the thing, if you can make it somehow into a video format, we can put it on the channel. 12 viewers to the United Nations live stream, 9 viewers. We got them. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Goodbye, everybody. I appreciate you. Eternia forever. And we got to join back again next time to have another gathering of micronations and another whooping of the UN. I will see you guys soon. Peace, everybody. The Duke said I'm back from being gone. Duke, we whooped the United Nations live stream. Is great. I hope everybody's doing well. We are going to head out. Again, thank you guys so much for making this an incredible experience for me. Thank you for, in no uncertain terms, changing my life. You really have. This community has been amazing to me, and I have been lucky to be in the place that I am. I only hope that I can continue to do things like this, which helps to actually boost the micronational community. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Yes, the UN is live, and we're actively beating them. Beliga. Duke says, Invicta Aeternia. Hey. Belagia says, bye. See you guys. See everybody. Peace. Peace, fresh homies. Boy. Oh, 14 viewers. Hey, it jumped up. Still beating the UN. 14 viewers. Appreciate you guys. Every second helps with the 14 viewers. It means a lot because we're stacking up the watch time hours. And if you want to help us out, you could like and subscribe for the video. And you could also go and watch our lo-fi video. I rhymed video with video. That didn't work out too well. But it's good to see you guys. I appreciate it. I'm milking these watch time hours right now, making a really long outro. But I do appreciate y'all. See ya, everybody. Still beating the UN. We whooped them. We did it. We achieved more in this one meeting than I thought we ever would. Appreciate it. See you guys.